What's going on, everybody? John here with you. It's a Monday, May 18th, 2026. We haven't checked into this series until game two. It is now game seven. Head coached the Montreal Canadiens, it's Martin St. Louis. They're 48, 24, and 10 on the year, 7 and 6 in the postseason. It sounds like this: Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, Juraj Slafkovsky, Mike Matheson, and Alex Carrier. Jake Evans, Alex Newhook, Ivan Demidov, Lane Hutson, and Noah Dobson. Oliver Kapanen, Zach Bolduc, Kirby Dach, Philip Danault, Alex Texier, Josh Anderson. And again, no Kapanen. It'll be Danault and Valeno. Valeno on the fourth line, as you know, of Kirby Dach, Valeno, and all that has been unchanged. Third line defense will be Arbor Jacki and Caden Gooley. For the Buffalo Sabres, head coached by Lindy Ruff, they are 50, 23, and 9 on the season, 7 and 5 on their postseason. So one of these teams will go home today, and one of them will face the Carolina Hurricanes on Thursday. Their lineup sounds like this: Josh Norris, Zach Benson, Tage Thompson, with Rasmus Dahlin and Matthias Samuelsson. It's Ryan McLeod, Josh Doan, Alex Tuch, Bowen Byron, Owen Power, Constant Lenius with Jason Zucker, Jack Quinn, Peyton Krebs, Jordan Greenway, Beck Melanson. And then the fourth line was Zach Metza and Connor Timmins. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen should be in the goal crease for Buffalo. So as I have the time before the puck drop, let's just go over very quickly. Again, I covered game two, and then we'll jump into game seven of the series. Buffalo won the opener 4-2. Sabres outshot Montreal 28-16, but scored 4 times. Buffalo went 2 for 3 on the power play. Montreal 1 for 2. Doan, McLeod, Greenway, and Byram all scored. 2 of those in the power play for McLeod and Byram. Dach answers for Montreal. The line was strong as he stopped 26-20, and Dobson had a rough game, 12 of 16. In the game I covered, both teams were combined 0 for 10, 0 for 5 in exclusivity on the power play. All Montreal. Alex Newhook comes alive. He had a pair of goals. Matheson, Alex Carrier, and Suzuki score. Benson's unbelievable move at the net when he had that second and tertiary effort to score one. Otherwise, Buffalo looked lifeless. Both teams, again, 0 for 10 on the power play. Dobson outstanding, 20 of 29. Alex Line was rough in game two, 23 of 27 in the loss. Montreal responded again in a big way in game three. They blasted the Sabres and won 6-2. Took a 2-1 series lead. Newhook scores 2 more. He had 4 goals in the last 2 games. Newhook and Thompson exchanged goals in the first. Montreal had 5 the next 6. Caufield, Bolduc, Slafkovsky, Newhook, 4 in the last 2 games, as I mentioned. Dobson stopped 26 of 28 in the victory. Alex Line was lit up 31 of 36. Montreal's power play 2 for 6. Buffalo 1 for 4. In game 4, Buffalo responded, even the series at 2-2. They won 3-2. Newhook and Caufield scored to give Montreal a 2-1 lead. That's 5 goals for Newhook in 3 games. They had a lead after 20, but Thompson, Benson score in each period, able to slow things down a little bit. Again, Buffalo was very efficient in the power play in that one. They were 2 for 4, 3 for 8 in the last 2 games. Montreal then threatening. It was a 3-2 series lead for them. They won 6-3. 3-2 Buffalo after the first. The Montreal scored 5 straight. Josh Anderson, Jake Evans, Nick Suzuki, Ivan Demidov all unanswered. Zucker, Doan, and Hellenius opened for Buffalo. Caufield and Texier for Montreal. Dobson was 33 of 36 in the victory. UPL gets lit up and gives up 5. 18 of 23. Alex Line stopped 2 of 3. Montreal was 2 for 2 on the power play. Buffalo 0 for 2. The infractions subsided in Game 5, but in Game 6 they did not. Buffalo won 8-3. I'm not sure what to say here because Montreal was up 3-1. 10-14 left of the first. They were in control. Sabres scored 7 straight after that. Zucker, Benson, Quinn twice, Hellenius, Thompson, and Metza. 4 of those on the power play. They're on fire and finished 4 for 6 with the man advantage. This is the one I want to mention. In games 4 and 6, Buffalo was 6 for 10 on the power play. Ian Genji had mentioned it. Alec Nava had mentioned it. That Buffalo has struggled with the man advantage that many times throughout the series. Games 4 for 6, they're 6 for 10. They're at KeyBank tonight. They've been hot and cold, but they've been hot lately on their power play. And Montreal, even though I picked them to win this series and they've probably stolen some, they've had some games that played better. They've got to have Dobson be at his best. He's been able to play every game in this crease. Jacob Fowler, again, is another rookie, so they're really not going there. And Sam Montembeault just hasn't had a great year. So Dobson is going to have to be strong. Buffalo crowd's going to be excited. If it is Buffalo and Carolina, that could be very interesting. But if it's Montreal, Carolina, that is something I think a lot of people want. I could take it or leave it on either end. I'd love to see Buffalo advance, but I do believe what Cooper said as well. If they get to the second round, they're just going to be left, getting to the third wanting more. If you get eliminated now, you can say it is what it is. You had a great year. I kind of agree with the sentiment. But for Montreal, as I've said, I think that they can win a Stanley Cup in their future. Their window is really just opening. It's about goaltending help, and that's kind of what it's shown to be. So if Montreal keeps things quiet on the power play for Buffalo of late, they'll probably do well. But Montreal's got a lot of their chances as well. So I don't think Buffalo is going to stop them from taking penalties or getting power plays. But Buffalo, it's really going to come down to it. Games 4 through 6, as you mentioned, 6 for 10. And the other ones where they've struggled, they haven't won. And that might just be enough. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, it's the biggest game of his life. Let's see what we get in a moment. It's going to be a motto of just go out and play hockey for Lindy Ruff squad. Just F and go. Jakub Dobson against Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 3-2, 336, 875 in this postseason. It's his first career Game 7 start. If things go sideways, you have to imagine that it's going to be the goal crease of Alex Lyon. But here we go at the KeyBank Center. We picked up now near the right side red line and dumped in. San Luis squad has it now as Matheson will pick this one up on his forehand to the left side red line. And Tuch takes a big hit. Kapanen will draw him back. So again, what are the different lines from what I've even read to you in the open? Kapanen is going to be playing in this one. He'll be iced against the Sabres. Nick Suzuki going to take this draw off the tie-up. Bodies fall down. Slav try to find it near the right side corner. As this will be canceled off, and then Montreal subsequently goes off sides. It's a little bit of an auspicious start between these two here. I'm going to take you all the way through on this Monday. It'll be an off day Tuesday as we get pounded with rain here in southeast Michigan, and then we'll figure out the rest of the week. I should have Wednesday for Colorado and Vegas game 1, and then Thursday planned. Whoever finishes up between Montreal and Buffalo is going to face Carolina on Thursday, and then maybe one weekend assignment because I got some Friday MIHL notes. Sent back around the boards now. Caufield is getting roughed up by Owen Power. Montreal now trying to get it out of their own end. It's Hutson trying to take this one right to left. Montreal in their road whites in terms of the red striping on the top and the blue pants as we get to yet another offsides against Montreal. So 4 of the 6 games had goals in the first 2 minutes. Thank you there for Sean McDonough, as Ukko-Pekka will be forced to hold at 18:58. And if we're going to have that, we're going to need an auspicious blast of action here in the next 58 seconds. A lot of fits and starts. Teams not even really getting a chance to fill each other out in the first minute and 2 seconds. As Dano, and off the tie up against Hellenius. This will go back to the point. Here's a slap. It'll go just wide for Carrier. Pekka Luukkonen will hit it with his glove hand. And off the spin and turn. Good puck protect now for Carrier. And behind the net, Texier with it. He's fighting it off across the left side boards. This is rimmed around the end boards here in Buffalo. Zucker just holds the blue line here for Montreal. Try to get a couple of sticks out of his Dahlin, and he'll chase. Will force them back. 5 points in Game 6, NHL record from a D-man facing elimination. 5 points for Rasmus Dahlin driving the bus. That is why he is the captaincy. Caden Gooley will rim this in gingerly across the red line. There's a bouncing puck. Picked up in the high slot now. Try to get sent across. Pekka Luukkonen makes a good save with the left pad. And it's still busy here for Montreal. Near the left side red line. Dano will watch this one go back. Goalie, a series of pump fakes, and outside the line the pass goes. The defensive partner here for Hutson, I believe. He will take this one in off the left side red line and picked up now by Buffalo. Here's Krebs. We'll send this one across and chip it off the glass. And Lane Hutson get a chance to start again and throw it to his defensive partner. Start again now as Dobson looks on. It's Demidov across the right lane. Gets around one bowling pin. Try to throw this pass across the centering feed. Demidov will chip this around in the corner. Left side, Hutson. His pass gets deflected and back into the neutral zone. Montreal gets the puck one more time. Buffalo can start it with the all blue jerseys and gold. Long outstretched pass. Here is Tuch with a centering feed. Goes off the outside of the cage. We had Jack Quinn out there. Dobish in the butterfly near the left post. Here's a pinball pass. Power wants it. He's got in the high slot looking for a deflection. And this goes just wide. Montreal try to chase this, but it goes into the benches out of play at 16:50. Oliver Kapanen has not played in 4 games. He had 22 goals in the regular season, third amongst rookies, and he gets a chance to grit his teeth in a Game 7. The shots are just one apiece. It's been low event so far, but that's what you'd expect here in a winner-take-all situation. You're going to play a little bit tight. You don't want to make the first mistake. Puck gets looped away from Juraj Slafkovsky. And start again now for Lane Hutson. Hutson now will watch this one going across the right side red line. And picked back up now by Josh Norris. Here's an outstretch for Tage Thompson. Thompson now will get dwarfed in the left side corner. Picked up here for Bowen Byram, the former Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche, but it will belong to Montreal. They'll play it in their own zone. They're going to need some help here. This will be looped just away from the defensive end. Dobish will give it a courtesy stop at the stick. Start again for Mike Matheson. Matheson cross ice feed from the left to right dot. Nick Suzuki throws it back. Matheson will get it back. Forwards take a change for Marcus Emily's squad. Shot board is 2-1 as the crowd at KeyBank Center continues to boo. Looped in now. Here's Caufield. They'll chase it in the corner. Caufield now, he gets hit. And behind the net, it's loose. Here's a chance. Oh, the Jack-Eye! And it bounced again. It goes in. So Jack-Eye going to get a primary. And Philip Dano scores the first goal of the game at 15:30 as Montreal's got the lead one more time, but this time in Game 7. Sabres going to look at this right now. Again, my correction is Caden Gooley will get the primary. Philip Dano going to get the goal, so we got that one right. That's at 15:30. They thought maybe Philip Dano got caught with a kicking motion, but they're going to let that go. So Montreal, as Dano gets his first of the playoffs, his first career Game 7 goal. Now as good as time as any. At Buffalo, we're on the back foot here, and down by a goal within the first 5 minutes of this game. Again, winner gets the Canes on Thursday. So at least he'll get some time off here for a couple days for this extended series. 8th straight game with a goal in the first period. It's the longest streak in Montreal playoff history. And that is why I've said throughout this series, with the amount of goals that they can score and what they do, I don't feel like they'll be phased. I really picked them to beat Buffalo in this series. We'll see what they can do against Carolina. If Montreal does advance, or even if it's Buffalo, I wouldn't count them out against Carolina. Long outstretch up the 2-on-1. Good body contact, takes it away as Demidov. Try to find this now off the stick lift. This will be Josh Doan. Doan in his own end takes a hit, makes a play. McLeod will get this one up the ice. Buffalo got it. Tuch just stayed on side. What a toe drag. Keep this across from McLeod. Near the right side, dot chance easily canceled off by Dobson. There will be a spin and turn now. This is an opportunity for power. Try to throw this one out. McLeod off the drop. Here is Doan. He will loop it around the left side as it's picked up here for Metsä. And Matthias Samuelsson, he loses it. It's a one-on-one developing. And here's a chance Ukko-Pekka makes the save. Make sure I get a number on that for you as it goes the other way. As this was settled back down there for Oliver Kapanen, got denied him on the break. Pick back up. Suzuki watches this backhand go right to him from Caufield, and it's 13:34, and yet another save for Ukko-Pekka. He's been under siege the last couple. At 13:34, we take a break, and Montreal has a good start to this game. It's from Gooley and Texier. We'll make sure I mark that down in the sheet. Sabres are 1-6 in a Game 7. They only won the conference quarters against the Sens. So history is not on their side. But again, for anything that was supposed to be on the Pistons side, that was blown out the other day against the Cavs. So sometimes history is just made to be broken. And that's what the fans at KeyBank Center are hoping for. Here's Josh Norris on his backhand. Norris This will get tied up off a couple of stick chops. Behind his battle with Lane Hutson in Montreal. Excellent work. Break out of their own and looking for an outstretched pass. So chase, but it'll be not for an icing here. At 13-10 of the first, so the Sabres will get one more ozone draw. Jason Zucker off the tie-up, can't win it. And Montreal try to get this second pass out of the neutral zone. They'll do Texier. Takes a hit to make a play. Kapanen won't chase it. We'll go back. Picked up now off a long outstretched pass. He'll touch this left-handed Dobson. He's going to get forced to hold. And then Hellenius want to get a little too close. That will draw a little bit of a buzz in amongst Dobish's net. And again, sometimes throughout the playoffs, I like to mention Billy Smith, the former Newhook Islander, the take no prisoners net miner that will give you a slash or a hit at the knees if you get in front of his goal crease. Not saying Dobish is exactly like Billy Smith, but he's as close to akin as we get to anyone else. He will make sure his goal crease stays clean. And that's what you have to do. Awfully impressive for a rookie to know that he's got to have his space to be able to command everything around it. So another offensive zone draw here. Comes to Hellenius. This is loose out front for a moment. Metsa couldn't find a stick as this is Zucker. Throw this back to his defense. Him around the inboards now. Zucker still doing some damage. And behind the net, he goes to his forehand, turnaround curl, and that'll go just wide. Wide of traffic in front of Dobish right now. Samuelson, he was in deep. He takes this one D to D. Zucker will loop it around. Near the left side red line, Montreal trying to cancel around subsequently across the boards. A couple of stick chops here for Jack Quinn. And a long flip will get down the ice. Montreal has escaped the pressure at 12:05 of the first runner with you. Alongside a solo call, I thought Alec Navarre, Ian Gendry, and Cooper Hopkins might jump in for this one. But we'll take it through a solo call for Game 7. Definitely don't mind that. Bolduc on his back skate as this shot goes high from McLeod, and then Doan will give it a chase. He gets almost taken down. This goes D to D. Owen Power circumvent into the corner. Demidov try to get this out. Jake Evans will watch it get looped in the corner now for Dobish. We'll stop it behind the right side dot. Here it'll be chipped in by Gooley. Right side red line. Rolling the other way. Lane Hutson was in the middle of a change. He will get their first. Canadiens this postseason are 5-0 following the loss. Last back-to-back was 14th and 15th losses for them. So if that holds true, they'd be 6-0. They'll be playing the Canes on Thursday. That would be a hell of a record there. So anytime you get a chance, you just can't get two consecutive. The Canes, they haven't lost yet in the postseason. They're a perfect 8-0. Here's a backhand. Pekka Luukkonen makes the save. Bowen Byram takes a hit from his own end, and left to right goes Lindy Ruff squad. Almost halfway through this first. Tage Thompson try to drive to the net. He's sitting toward the back post as the puck's near the right boards. Josh Norris now for Thompson. He tried to throw it back to his teammates. Nice slump. But they will settle back down as Buffalo and Zachary Metsa. As toward the left side red line. He'll rip it in. Goal in Game 6, a 23 champion at Quinnipiac. He was able to do some damage against the Michigan Wolverines. I think he was on that team at that time. Now Buffalo Sabre. Here's a 2-on-3. Gingerly put him behind the inboards now. Demidov, excellent work up the cancel. Called his name more than I really ever have. Kyrie gets away with a cross check against Malenstein. They can't push this puck out. Here to the right side dot. Demidov. A couple extra sticks. Matheson will at least send this one down the ice. He's rolling end over end, but it'll touch Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 9:50 left to go in the first. That does count as a shot. So 7-3 Montreal leads that. And they got the only goal of the game courtesy of Philip Danault off the Gooley deflection. Here's a chance on the backhand. Full sprawl. Dobish. What a save. As Quinn was down. This goes to the right side boards here. Now Anderson Help get this away. Texier throws it across the right side red line. Here's Buffalo again. And across the neutral, Samuelson gets swallowed up. And now push it ahead. Montreal. Late arriver here is Texier trying to work his way to the right side. That was Newhook. And Newhook still waiting in that same spot. It's in the left boards, though. Back around for Caden Gooley. Will step up, steal, deflection, wide of Newhook. Picked up now for Montreal. Stutter step. Excellent work. It kept in the middle of the circles. Back to the point. Good touch pass, Gooley. Montreal might be cooking here. Dano work his way to the net. Long shot, and UKP holds that one as it's picked up now. Owen Power. It is Josh Doan off the sauce fest. Doan gets to the net. He gets canceled off by Dobson. Reverse hit for Doan. Cleans out Gooley. Picked up now by Buffalo. Here the left side, Dot looking for a cross-ice feed. Dobson down. He's got a snow angel underneath him. He'll pop back up. He gets hit partially by one of the Buffalo players, but we're still live. Turn around the other way now. Here's Samuelson, sets it up off the give. It goes off the backboards. And then Dobish gets hit from behind, makes the save, and that's going to draw a crowd near the right boards. Buffalo now gets an ovation from the crowd. It's been their best pressed since we go to break. At 8:15, a backhand is Hellenis to Jack Quinn, and Quinn got canceled off at the last moment by the right pad full sprawl by Dobish. So Carolina Matovak, this has been reported by Emily Kaplan. The wife of Rasmus Dahlin had a heart transplant. She's doing okay now. And she said she's so proud of her husband there, the way that he's been able to play. I'm just glad that she's doing well. And good to see her at KeyBank enjoying herself. 8 minutes left to go in the first. Josh Norris, Bill Spinnenstern. It's the Oxford, Michigan native with the puck. Now onto the right side. I'll loop it back into the corner here. Mike Matheson try to step up and get a steal. Some stick chops there for Metsa. And off the spin and turn, he's tied up a little bit. Byram out there as well. And settle back for Slafkovsky. It's a 1-on-3. He's just trying to buy some time into the right side corner. Slafkovsky now will emerge behind the net. It's been a great shift for him. It slows down in front, open a save. Pekka looking at rebound. And this one goes up and out of play. I think that's going to be a delay of game against the Buffalo Sabres. If it is or not, we'll get a clarification there. But they had to relieve the pressure somehow. They got loose right in the middle of the slot. That was a hell of a stop there for Pekka Luukkonen. Yeah, it's a delay of game. Montreal going to get a power play. Zach Benson going to get busted for it. So Slafkovsky, man, that was tipped out of the air by Nick Suzuki to Caufield, and that was an unbelievable save by Ukko-Pekka as he robbed it with the glove hand. It was loose. Caufield tries to pick it up to slam it home, and Pekka makes another save with the glove before then it's cleared out. 42nd time shorthanded this postseason is second most in the NHL for Buffalo. And they just cannot stop committing infractions, but that one couldn't be helped. Demidov, he'll pick it up across the carom near the right side boards, and then the pass is intercepted by Hutson at their neutral. He'll find it off the 1-on-4. His drop near the right side boards off the half-spin pirouette Demidov. Hutson, high slot Slafkovsky. He'll touch pass Suzuki near the left dot. He's in tight. Now to Hutson, high slot, does not shoot. He'll back out to Demidov, keep that space alive. Hutson, middle circle now. Demidov will lay it off to the right side boards. Cross ice feed Suzuki. That shot gets blocked before whatever hit Pekka. Demidov off the lead. Middle slot, Hutson now. Hutson pivots. There's Suzuki near the left dot. Still kept on the outside. Hutson slapped the shot. Now it is Suzuki. A lot of passing here for Montreal, no entries. Cole Caufield on his backhand in severe pinch near the left boards. Suzuki left out, cross ice feed. Demidov falls down, loses an edge, and Montreal has to recollect. Hutson finds the entry again, leaves for Suzuki. And off the drop pass, it's Slafkovsky. Bolduc comes out from the line change. He misses it as Hutson leaves for Zach Bolduc. Now Lane. 10 seconds left to go, and the power play shoots. Picked up by Suzuki to the left out. Bolduc again, one-timer. He scores! Zachary Bolduc. It's 2-0 Canadiens. A bomb from the right dot gives Montreal a 2-0 lead, and they are in the driver's seat against the Sabres. It was a lot of passing on the outside till it wasn't. When Bolduc made that change for Marty St. Louis, he was thinking shoot all the way. And when he gets the second pass, which is unbelievable, it's a backhand no look, sets up Bolduc. That is a bomb, top left corner and in. Perfect shot in Montreal. They're really on the front foot now. Who made that pass? Let's go ahead and get that in there. That is Nick Suzuki with a glorious backhand pass. Net's crowded. It's 4:55 left. And here's another breakaway. Let's see what happens here. Oh, a slide near the left side of the post does not go in. And Pekka makes a big save. Otherwise, Montreal goes up 3-0. You got to be able to make sure you do that there as Alex Texier gets denied. We'll press on. 4:30 left to go in the first. John, I'm with you on a solo call. Game 7 at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Dobson will make the pass from his own end in Montreal. That's where they'll start. Road Whites have a 2-0 lead here. Alex Newhook, chip and chase in the corner. He's been brilliant in this series. And Montreal has got to make sure that this counterattack for Buffalo in the second and third period does not come to life. Zucker, backhand. Oh, what a diving play for Montreal the other way for Carrier. He denies a shot before it ever happened. And the Buffalo wins the race the other way for an icing. 22 goals in the first period, second most in the last 30 years, as it is 3:45 left to go in the first. Buffalo's going to have to start this, and their swords and the part of the herd in the mix of that would be blue and gold, down 2-0 here. They really need to try to find something, or it cannot go down by more than 2 after this first set of 20. Just like to see them get a little bit of pressure before the end of the period, because Montreal has been in control. Again, there's been times to be able to say that throughout this series. We haven't picked this up since game 2, but that was one of the worst games I've seen Buffalo play. And right now, Montreal is kind of putting the pace of everything that they want right now, dictating everything. The shots are 11-10. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen got the start. He's still in there. Here is Benson. This will get deflected. Tage Thompson off the pickup. 8 assists this series. His third among D-men in the playoffs, 66 in the regular year for Lane. Long outstretched Connor Timmins still waiting for that puck to get loose, but Alex Carrier, who made that great play on Zucker, will pick it up. Here and off the spin and turn now. Timmins will try to meet Doc near the right side boards. Timmins with a steal. He's got it now on his backhand. Does not shoot. He throws it back now. McLeod will get his shot blocked. And Montreal one more time with Bolduc will chase them out before Buffalo content to dump it in. 2:20 left to go in this first. 9 shots on goal in Game 7 versus Tampa, fewest all time in a playoff win. They've already got more than that in this first period. Again, they survived. It was everything that Tampa did, but it was a great work from Dobson to be able to keep that alive. Jack Quinn, he gets reverse hit hard by Caden Gooley. That's not going to make the crowd happy. Gooley's still doing work. Near the right side boards is Josh Anderson. We'll watch this puck. Gets loose. Texier throws around to Gooley calmly. Gets it to his other defensive partner. Chips it across the glass. But it'll be blown dead against Montreal. They cannot change.
Icing the call, the mock cheer from the Partisans here in Western New York. Shop the largest selection of Stanley Cup Playoffs apparel at NHL Shop. Take advantage of today's special offer on your favorite teams and brands only at NHLShop.com. No nervousness you can sense in the building here. ET comes in at a 2-0 Montreal lead. Fans looking for something to do.
Philip Danault against Tage. Tage wins it. Throws it back from Doan. Doan trying to work his way toward the net. He gets canceled off. 152-50. Team scoring first is 75% win percentage, just a little bit greater, 75.2 when scoring first. Montreal's got a 2-0 lead. Doan, good toe drag. We'll throw this across the opposite dot for Tuch. Pick back around now for McLeod. And this will be Dahlin fighting off his men. Tuch will throw it off the outside of the cage. Here will be a chase now. Back for Owen Power, deflected slowly in the left side corner. That's where Doan will be. Try to pick this one back up now. Here is Doan. He will leave it in the left side corner. Here will be a spin and turn now. Recollected now by Demidov. Big hit the other way as Montreal has some work to do. They'll clear it in, but hopefully everybody's okay down there. That was in transition into the D zone, and Buffalo laid the lumber. It's a 4-on-3. Peyton Krebs Mallenstein way off sides at 37 seconds left.
In Game 7 against Tampa 15 days ago, the Canadiens had 2 goals on 9 shots. They got 2 on 11 here in Buffalo. A late first period lead.
Not much longer now, and I will also take to the side.
Me too.
You? No, you will always be a worm.
Just wait and see. Red Bull gives you Hey you, relax. Domino's large one-topping pizzas are just $7.99 when you carry out. But don't act now. This ain't here for this time next year. And please, so take the seat and go down to
Samsung Galaxy A17 5G for free. And no activation fees. Get that more for your money feeling. Only at Metro.
Montreal, less than a minute to go. Period 1, Game 7, time for game drivers brought to us by Geico. Small moments bring big moments here in Game 7. Josh Anderson has created this morning. One on the forecheck. He's fired off the puck again. Good puck support from Taxe to cover the shot. It's the door goes in. And Suzuki wins the puck battle. Matheson Samuelson went behind the goal line. He thought the puck was going to be reversed there. That one step that he took behind the goal line opened up the last lane clean.
Montreal in Game 7 is 12-2 when scoring first. They've won 9 straight. 30 seconds left to go in this first. And they've been in complete control. Sit back around now for Tage, Thompson. And in the backhand, Texier try to get it out. Caufield got power with him. It's picked up now near the right side boards. Buffalo trying to get something going here before the end of this period. Down to 10. They got in the O zone near the right side red line. Montreal content to just kill as much time as they can. Caufield, as long as that puck is moving, they can't blow the whistle. And that will end the first. Montreal's got a 2-0 advantage after 1.
Was on the power play. 2-0 Montreal after 1 in Game 7. Here's Steve. Quinn, Texier, Carrier, Messier, all getting it done. All getting it done.
I got the Queenies on, kid. Run the Queenies.
What do you think of that first period? I mean, Buffalo. They got down 2-0 and a massive volume on the breakaway for next year. I think it really probably maybe give them a chance to win this game, but we're going on with never know what we're talking about. So I was happy to see Lucan and Lindy. I thought he played really well. Yeah, have any chance of the two.
Got them in the game. Montreal a lot better on their breakouts, on control breakouts, and their forecheck. You know, Anderson with the big forecheck. That's going to be key for them. There's not a lot of Buffalo speed to take over this game.
You're talking about it? Anybody standing by?
We're going to go break lead so that everybody relax. You know, get settled in, and we'll come back.
We're certain directions to structure. I got it. Here we go. 76. Super.
Give the shots here. 11-9 for Montreal. Hits 14-5 for Montreal as well. Face-offs, you know, normally Buffalo's had a rough time in this series, but they're actually winning at 9-8 after the first frame. So face-offs 9-8 for Buffalo. Power plays just the 1 for Montreal. And that's the main thing I said in the open too, and it was about 5 or 6 minutes. But you got to stay out of the penalty box. Can you get to Game 7? They're really not going to call anything unless it's completely egregious. But you got to make sure you stay out of the box. Because Buffalo has been hot lately in games 4 and 6. We said they went 6 of 10. So your reset. Philip Dan out tip, Caden Gooley with the primary at 15:30. Kapanen tonight on a one-on-one and a backhand from Suzuki to Caufield. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen early, busy early within the first 5 minutes, 4 out of 5. Right pad full sprawl save. Hellenius hits up Quinn. Save off the full stretch by Dobson. 8:15 of the first, a standing ovation from the crowd at KeyBank from the effort. Loose in the slot off the tip of Suzuki. Caufield denied with the glove hand. It got tipped out in the air. Remember, a couple of saves. Caufield gets denied by Ukko-Pekka. Zach Bolduc, power play, top right corner bomb off the pass from Nick Suzuki. No look backhand from the left dot. Carrier, a great defensive play on the dive. Slide stops Jason Zucker. Those are your notes after one. So it's just really, it's how hot do you think it is? I put it back to 76, but I can leave it at 74 everywhere else. I just moved it. It already went up a degree. It'll kick back on. But I just turned it because like 5 minutes ago it already kicked back on again. I think it's just going to be about 76 in here. So it's just going to be kicking on over and over and over again. I don't care. Honestly, maybe I can move it in a couple hours when it loses a couple degrees. But right now we're just going to be hot. You're going to be moving stuff and you're going to be hot. I don't want you to be gross all day. Right, you're going to be hot. So I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. Because I don't want you to be gross. They are, but you need them. You need the stuff for your food so you can live your life. No, it's only the first period. I still got two more. We're going to get set here for the start of the second period. Sean McDonough, another ESPN stat they got laid down. They've outscored Buffalo here 15-8 at the KeyBank Center with a couple of power play goals as well, at least. as we've done it in Ray Ferraro. I'm going to tell you about some of the things I already kind of set you up in particular. We got a power play goal for Zach Bolduc, and then a tip play for Philip Danault. But that second period looked a lot like game two, or the first period, I should say, looked a lot like game two. And for the start for Montreal, they got a couple of goals here to start this second. We're going to get the face-off here in a moment. As I told you, I thought then at that time Montreal was going to win this series against Carolina. And even if Buffalo did win it, I do feel like Carolina is not going to have a walk in the park despite being 8-0. But as mentioned with them, because the Cats are no longer in this postseason, never had a chance to get into it, they've got to take advantage of it as Carolina. They really have no excuse to not make the Stanley Cup Final, but you can't tell that to either Buffalo or Montreal. But Montreal is out in the front foot now. Buffalo looks like they were playing a little bit, just trying not to make a mistake, more so than going on dominating. So if they can hit that mental reset into this second period, they have 2 multi-goal comeback wins this postseason. Again, then they have 7 unanswered, and the other day in Game 6. So they're going to need a lot of that. Just go for it, as this will be iced against Lindy Ruff squad at 19:09. Montreal leads the shot board 11-10, and they got a couple of goals courtesy of Bolduc and Dana, one on the power. Former NHLer Stefan Rovida is the assistant coach alongside Marty Saint-Louis, so they got good company there. Nick Suzuki will take this one against Ryan McLeod. And McLeod in off the tie. This will belong to Buffalo. Hutson gets canceled off near the left side glass. Slafkovsky throws it down deep. And Rasmus Dahlin makes a good pass. McLeod gets sticked away. Back Melanstein out there. He will chip it off the glass there. Samuelson gets intercepted by Kapanen. And now off the 1-on-4, he stakes a fortuitous bounce. It's going to belong to Josh Norris. See if he can get it at the net. A good quick shot gets canceled off by Dobson. And Montreal with the jerseys in white with the red tops and blue pants. Watch this circumvent the left side corner. Dobson be able to get it out. Montreal got it now. Bowen Byram, former Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche, will be stopped by Dobson there momentarily. Tage Thompson on the steal. Remember, he got the gold medal winner at the Worlds. Worlds are going on. We're going to cover that next week, as this one is back down. I thought I'd touched Pekka Luukkonen, but an icing will be called against the Canadiens. Just barely missed.
Not surprisingly, chance in the Buffalo win, but Zach Benson's in the middle of it. He's had a really good series, certainly in Game 6. He's up for the line with Thompson and Norris. He's just such a creator, a small guy.
Zach Benson certainly isn't afraid to get out in front of the net, is he? And the replay that we just got, he wraps away behind the net. He gets to the danger areas despite being small and loves to play big. When you have players like that, I think as a teammate, pretty much you put your arm around them there, but you know that they're willing to sacrifice whatever they can to try to score a goal. And if you're not getting in front of the net, you're not scoring in the playoffs. Bowen Byram. Here's a drop now from Constantinius. Shot goes off the backboard. Delvish tries to fortify a wall near the left side of the post. He'll make his hold at 17:43. Long outstretched pass. We'll go down the ice. Lane Hutson gets hit for a rough ride. Hutson now going to get back on his horse on the right side red line. This will be picked up. All sorts of fans want a penalty call And I think they're going to get one in behind it, a little bit of an interference maybe. One of the Buffalo players is down, maybe a high stick. Josh Norris looked like he might have got clipped and behind the right side red line. So Buffalo should be getting a power play. And it looks like it's going to be 4 minutes. We got blood on the bottom side of the lip of Josh Norris. So double minor high sticking the call should be against Montreal. We got to see who that's going to be for the stick for. Let me take a look. So Philip Dano coming over. We just got the replay here of the bottom of the lip that hit Josh Norris. It looks like Zach Benson's stick might have hit Josh Norris. If that's the case, Montreal is going to be free and clear. So Benson's stick comes up, it hits his teammate in the mouth. That's not a Montreal penalty. That should be friendly fire here. Montreal should be in the free and clear. Philip Dano went over, and the referee should get their clarification. So what they thought was going to be a 4-minute double minor, that should be for null. So yeah, we got the correct call here. That didn't take the refs too long to look at it. When I got the secondary look, I could relay that to you. It's the right call. So Zach Benson didn't mean to do that against Josh Norris. And we'll be back to even strength there at 17-20. No penalties needed to be called. Long slap shot will kiss off the glass from Dahlin as they're back underneath it. The shot attempts are actually 27-18 for Buffalo. But Montreal has the edge of the shots on goal. Once they pop that one back up, it's 12-11 now. Officially, again, watching this one on ESPN. I don't have access to Sportsnet over there, otherwise with a solo call, I'd definitely be using it. As it's picked up offsides, Tage Thompson a little bit too gingerly up front at 16:52.
With the Buffalo Sabres, putting yourself with your teammate behind the scenes with one team all about out there for each round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Quest for the Stanley Cup only on NHL YouTube. Buffalo's strength, one of their great strengths, you saw Rasmus Dahlin as their defense getting up into the play. Pretty soon you're going to see more of a concerted effort by them. Dahlin, Sanderson.
McLeod gets kicked out of the circle, and off the tie-up, Alex Tuch will win it through neutral and send it in. 11 goals and 34 points, both most in the NHL by defensemen this postseason. Intercepted by Doc, and this will be a long stretch off the one-on-one. Good work there. Montreal going to get a shot out of this. Ukko-Pekka meets it near the left side red line, and Doc gets worked over in front of the net. Montreal got pretty close to the crease there of UPL, and at 16:32, we'll get another stoppage. So Zach Bolduc was the one that got the opportunity off the replay here. He's already got a goal in the power play. He's been pretty strong in this game for Montreal. And that's what I love from this team, honestly, is the depth that they're able to display. That's kind of why I picked them after game 2. And that was when the series was 1-1. I really don't think Carolina is going to be able to go 8-0. Again, as they've been through the first 2 rounds to go 12-0 after, into the Stanley Cup Finals. I think Montreal or Buffalo is going to give them a couple of losses. I would say at least it would go 6. But this goes up and on a play at 16-17. Zach Bolduc, 6 foot, 187 pounds, out of Trevor, Quebec, 23 years of age. As the Lions continue to be shippled here for Marty St-Louis. They got the Air Canada sponsorship with the Fanatics jerseys. Again, that is a 10-year deal. I think they might be in year 3 or 4 at this point for Gary Bettman. But hopefully they can go back to Nikes or Reeboks or anything else like that. I'm glad I was able to get my jersey before the switchover when I ended up getting it for the Seattle Kraken. It might have been years. Zach Benson up the gut. Off the windmill, he'll leave it up the drop for Norris. That'll go just wide for McLeod. They picked up here for Owen Power. Timmins. He might have to take a hit. Benson off a touch pass. Benson now near the right side board, so he'll get an interception, and it'll fall back to Timmins. Try to gain that red line. Now recollected here for Tage Thompson. Off the spin and turn near the right dot, Thompson will loop it into the corner. Buffalo just trying to get something here to get this back within one. That is what they want to do right now. Montreal scored both of their goals not too late into that first frame, one of them on the power play. The latest from Bolduc opening the scoring was Philip Danault, his first in the first of Game 7. Dahlin off the rush. Good defense here for Montreal. Here is a shot that gets blocked. Dahlin now in a severe pinch near the left side red line. Here's Rasmus on his backhand. He'll pick it up now. Toward the right side, lets it go, kisses the glass. Recollected now near the left circle. Montreal has some work to do in their own end. Reverse hit to take a play. Slafkovsky get it out. It's a 2-on-2 developing. And Suzuki will gingerly throw it into the corner as the forwards take a change. Slafkovsky is the only one who stayed out there at 14:35 thereabouts in the second. John, I'm your play-by-play man watching this one on ESPN, Game 7. Again, ESPN will shift to the Western Conference. I'll be back here with you on Wednesday night between the Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. Constantinian School in back-to-back games. It's his fourth career playoff game. Here's McLeod up the ice. He'll lose the puck. Try to carry the mill off a 1-on-3. Nothing happening. Shot board only 14-12. Not a ton of opportunities to tell you about. Just those 2 goals in the first for Montreal from Danault and Bolduc. Back behind the net. Outstretched pass from 100. Will touch the stick of Dobesh. Chasing the right side corner. Look out. Somebody blew a tire in behind the net. Buffalo has it. Tuch throws it back to his defense. A couple of pivots and a whistle away from the play. 13:52. Couldn't hold the line. We'll take a break. Buffalo will have to do with a neutral zone draw when we come back.
Well, I drink Red Bull. But you do realize, yes, Red Bull gives you wings, but I'm scared of heights. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Summer Edition with the taste of Suzuki wine. Wings for your summer.
13:52, second period, 2-0 Montreal. Winning ingredients brought to us by Chipotle. Jakob Dobson has won 5 straight games after a loss. He lost Game 6. We'll see how this turns out. Dobson has responded with a .940 save percentage. He's been perfect so far tonight. The Sabres have started to press a little more here at the beginning of the second period. 12 shots, 12 saves for Dobson so far. One thing about Buffalo, that I'm thinking is that if you can get the puck in the zone excitement, plant somebody on top of the crease. Doan can get distracted. He's a pretty emotional guy. Maybe you can get him to keep preoccupied as you pumping out a couple of pucks in the net. Fired up to the neutral zone. Chipped out of the ring by Benson. The Western Conference Final begins Wednesday night. Vegas and Colorado, 8 o'clock on ESPN. The entire Western Conference Final will be on ESPN.
So they did just show the schedule big board again, 8 p.m. We knew that for Wednesday for Vegas and Colorado. Now we got the confirmation 8 p.m. also for Thursday. And between the winner of this series will play the Canes. That'll be in Raleigh on Thursday. So 8 o'clock, that one on TNT. Western Conference will be carried by ESPN. Eastern Conference will be on Turner. We'll see what the Stanley Cup Finals will be. I think that might be on Turner, but at least now ABC is back. So I shouldn't have to worry about not being able to cover the Stanley Cup Finals at all at any point. Maybe miss a game, maybe two at most, but that only is for any outside stuff.
Minnesota, a lot of people think it's a collision course right between the Canucks and the Hurricanes who won their respective conferences. I mean, it certainly appears that way, but you're going to tell those other two teams they don't have a chance? I don't think so.
Clean Hutson. Now Slafkovsky. Spin. Pop back to his feet. Great play. Suzuki no look backhand. And Ukko-Pekka fights it off in the middle of the slot. There's a rolling puck. Montreal couldn't touch till they got back on side. And UPL. And behind his own net, it's Bowen Byram. Will pivot. Now try to buy himself some space as it be intercepted by Carrier. This will bounce back to Dobson, quickly throw it across with the glove, and Montreal now tries to get going the other way from left to right again. They're in the road whites with the blue pants and red tops. Buffalo has the blue in the mix of the gold. And on a one-on-one, Josh Norris, who just got hooked by his own teammate, and Zach Benson back out there now. Here's Tuch. Tuch a turnaround, sharp angle chance. This hits the side of the net. Never even got to Jakub Dobson. Hutson gets knocked down by Benson, and Norris still trying to do some work. Picked up now by Dobson, and players falling all over themselves near the right side red line. Centering feed attempt. Pick up by Buffalo. Gotta shoot it. Bounced out of the air off of a high stick, and we'll see if that's going to be a penalty there, but it probably stopped the goal nonetheless. Montreal bats it down at 12:22 of the second.
Thompson drags and releases his puck. It's Hudson's block, the high stick from Dobson, and because he touches it, it's a high stick and the play's dead. Buffalo really had them on their heels.
So high stick knocked the play dead. This will still stay in the O zone for Buffalo should they be able to win another draw. Rasmus Dahlin will be the one that's straight back. McLeod tried to get this up the tie-up. Tage Thompson across the wing loses it. And now Montreal and Marty St. Louis-Scott, they attempt to get it out. Bounces off Melenstein and goes into the Buffalo bench at 12:14.
Pitching as much as they could, trying to keep the play in the offense. One thing that Lindy Ruff really liked in Game 6 was once they got the puck, how quickly they moved and started to move the Montreal defenders along. He said they skated away from people and created.
Ozone time is 7 minutes, 5:15 for Montreal. So Buffalo is starting to press a little bit more in this second. Nothing will break through against Dobson. Admittedly, I don't think they've got as many good shots. A couple of those chances in the middle of the slot for Cole Caufield off the setup for Suzuki. Ukko-Pekka could have easily given up 3 or 4. As this is settled back down now. Across the inboards. Sabres Game 7 first since 2011 and lost 5-2 to the Flyers. Here's a centering feed off a slap shot blocked expertly by Montreal near the left circle. Norris, he loses it. The KeyBank Center crowd wanted a call for a hook. They're not going to get one. 11:40 left to go in this second. Byram off the drop. This will be wide for Thompson. Here's Anderson on a break. He goes sliding into the net. Hopefully Josh Anderson's going to pop back up. He fell in hard with the attempt on his breakaway. Luukkonen said no with the right side of his leg, and now the attention goes to Josh Anderson as he slid hard into the netting. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him, but that certainly looked like it hurt at 11:33 of the second. So Josh Anderson shoots it wide, collides his gut in the left post. He looked to be in some pain, but he is okay. He will press on. Hopefully these teams don't have the same laundry list of injuries that Rick Tocchet squatted for the Flyers. Toe drag move, and this is a couple of expert chances there, I believe, for Bowen Byram, but I have to be held by Dobson at 11:10, and we might take a commercial break into this. But there was a lot of expert moves there for Bowen Byram. It was a breakout pass from Doan. It was a good one, a little inside-outside Doan trying to get things going. And that breakout pass there to spring Josh Doan. Try to get an inside-out there on the Montreal left defenseman. Have to get a number on that one I can, but this will fall to Dobish. It was Caden Gooley trying to dance against, and it was 2 block shots for him. One of those might have been off of Doan's attempt. We'll try to win the face-off. Can't do it off the tie-up. And Suzuki. I'm trying to find this off the glass from Slafkovsky. Big Suzuki centering pass to the left side post. And Buffalo, 3-on-2. If they can get it there, but that was awful. As it goes to Suzuki here. Got Caufield with him. They'll take a drop. Suzuki at the net. It was fought off by UPL and pushed the other way. There's a stick chop there. Jason Zucker. Rimming around the end, boys. We're almost halfway through regulation here. Still 2-0 Montreal. Nothing to tell you about in this second frame in terms of goals. Montreal off the handoff. Caufield's chance goes in and out of the glove with Pekka. Touch pass from Quinn. He'll retreat into his own zone. Owen Power will do the same. Play this off the backboard a little bit too far and off the end boards, and Montreal content to dump it in and do the same. They lead the shot board 16-12. Cole Caufield points this playoffs to just 1 5-on-5, 8 on the power play. That just tells you what Buffalo can't do. Here's Beck Mellenstein near the left side red line, ridden into the boards. We're past the halfway marker now. Shot deflected, and this is picked up by Dobish. He makes the save, goes to the high slot now. Mellenstein shoots. It's lost in between a crowd. Dobish couldn't locate until it falls back to him. At 9:46, Dobson might have got a piece of it, so Dobish could hold it down. We will take a break now. Past the halfway marker in regulation, 9:46 of the second. Montreal's still up by a pair.
2-0 lead back at Quebec Center here in Buffalo. The Canadiens with their 2 goals, as many chances of those 16 shots have come from.
Well, 74 and 74 is like true off, right?
No, it'll shut off on its own.
It did shut off.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to come back on once it goes up again.
When it goes above 74.
Yep.
So it's right at 74, so it'll shut off.
Yes.
Probably will go above 74 then, right?
Yeah, it was for a little while. Josh Norris is going to get kicked out of the draw here. It'll be Tage Thompson at 9:46 of the second. Cole Caufield, 4 scoring chances, 5 shot attempts, 4 shots on goal. As the best players have been the best players in this series for both squads. It really comes down to now the power play and execution or lack thereof for Buffalo over a couple of games, and then their execution in 4 and 6 that have gotten them into a Game 7, but now they need to get this game's next goal. Should Montreal take a 3-0 lead, they might be all she wrote at this point. Jake Evans, that's a little bit too far for him. As we're back underway into the neutral zone, Mallenstein was out there. This goes to Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin near the left side of the glass. Send it back around now for Dobson. And it'll be touched by Matheson on his back pass. This is nicely played by Demidov. Here's Jake Evans. We'll take a hit, put it in around the boards. 9:10 left to go in the second. John, I'm your play-by-play man for this Game 7. It is be back with you on Wednesday for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between Vegas and Colorado. Looking forward to that one. Doan Byram off the drop. Doesn't shoot. It's Owen Power walking in near the left dot. He doesn't shoot either. Power now. Pivot. They'll make a pass in behind the net. Looking for a perfect play. A wraparound attempt against Dobson goes wide. Picked up by Byram on his back skate. A little bit too hard off the inboards for Ryan McLeod. 8:35 left to go in the second. As Josh Doan gets the steal. Doan on a wrap. Dobson gives it a courtesy stick check. Doan still with it. Moves it off for his defenseman. Norris. This is settled back down now. Recollect now by Tuch. Here is Doan from Tuch. Doan shoots. This is deflected. Dobson makes one save, and then he makes a second. A brilliant one with a glove hand right in the middle of the slot. And we get a stoppage at 8:14. Face off defensively, one here by Montreal. 90 seconds of pressure there for Buffalo was negated by Dobson with the glove hand off of Alex Tuch, the former Vegas Golden Knight. 7:55 left to go in the second. Buffalo steals. Zucker now. Have to spin it in behind the inboards. It's Suzuki. And off the tie-up, trying to help out his defensive partner in Caden Gooley. Suzuki can't chase it. Slafkovsky, excellent work. Finds it in between his skates. Here's a lead for the captaincy and Nick Suzuki. Slams it in around the kick plate. Rasmus Dahlin now. He lost it. Picked up by Montreal at the side of the net. Goes off of Ukko-Pekka and up and out at 7:29. Alex Tuch in the first round against the Bruins. He had 4 goals, 7 points, +8. And this series does not have one and is a -9. So he's been completely neutralized. No problem there for the size that Tuch has. Montreal's been able to use their speed and skill maybe to just exercise some of that ability away of Tuch. Should he find a way to come through in Game 7, who knows? It could be the first goal for Buffalo in this game. They're down 2-0. 6-game point drought, longest of his playoff career. Malenstein will get this one back now as this is pushed ahead. Malenstein will get this up ahead as this is Byram taking a hit. Send it back around the end boards here. It's now Zachary Mensah in behind the net for his forwards. This is Lindy Ruff's squad now with it. Zach Mensah off the stick chop. It bounces over the blade of Caufield, who has to chase in the corner. 6:55 left to go in the second. Matthias Samuelsson off the steal. Samuelsson now. You got Malenstein up in front of the net. This goes back in the high slot, working behind the cage of Dobish, who's been really busy in the butterfly. Bounces off a stick shaft, scores! Buffalo's got it, and they're within one. It's Matthias Samuelsson. Looks like the shot. I'm looking at this now on the replay. Samuelsson going to get it in between the dots. It might have bounced off the stick of Josh Anderson. It does. The pass bounces off of Dobson. It gets to Samuelsson, and then his shot bounces off of Montreal's blade of Josh Anderson. It's 2-1. Montreal still leads, but that's a huge goal. The next goal had to be Buffalo's, and they got it. 6 minutes left to go in the second. It's Bowen Byram. Matthias Samuelsson's made it 2-1. They can make it 2-2. And a shot just almost misses the top left crossbar off the rush for Buffalo. They could make this a brand new game. It already feels like they have now because the KeyBank Center is alive in Buffalo, New York. Here's a chance now. Long one for Tuch. That one misses. Power. A lot of speed here. Tuch turnaround chance. This one deflected. And maybe you just have to get through the gauntlet here in the last 5:30 and go back to the room if you're Marty St. Louis. We'll see. Sent back him on the end boards, but Buffalo now certainly feels like they're shot out of a cannon on a one-on-one off the long flip. This is some good work. And near the right side boards, this is the settle back around for Jake Evans. It'll go D to D. Caden Gooley now. He'll put this in behind the net. Jake Evans still with it. And now Montreal patient. Back to Jake. Excellent work on this shift. Throws it back to the point now for Caden Gooley and throws it in deep. Alex Newhook. Haven't called his name too many times. Number 15. He's been so good throughout this series, though, in totality. 4:50 left to go in the second. Still near the left side red line. Montreal with it. Lane Hutson looking for Evans. Buffalo wanted a penalty call. Not going to get one with a hit behind the play. Here's McLeod. Off the drop into the left side, trying to leap for Tuch. Montreal quickly presses the other way. Here's a wrister. And this one stopped by Pekka looking it off Caufield near the right dot at 4:31 of the second.
She's been scrolling Shopify for hours. Now she's got an influencer brand. Kayak. Got that right. We get ourselves so the True finally got it all. Morning. Thanks a lot. And because True Breed's doing the work, we get demo fun. Please don't push that. Then our hot grass is sticking straight. True Breed, the easiest way to get a golf course ball in your lawn. Where are we playing next? Sign up now at truegreen.com.
We'll get another look at the Buffalo goal, but right now it's credited to Matheson. And look at this great work. Krebs, Greenway, Dahlin, they set it with around. Ukko-Pekka has no idea where the puck is, and it goes in. It hits. But it also hits the pants of Jordan Greenway. Greenway's in front of the net. He's facing the net. He doesn't know where it is.
I don't know. Samuelson scored that. We're getting another look at this goal before we go back in the action at 4:30. Montreal wins it. Again, he told you about the window on the passes bounced off everybody. Puck was offsides at 4:24. But the shot for Samuelson actually bounced off of the jersey of Greenway and went in. I mean, you're shooting that essentially like trying to aim a piece of sunshine in a magnifying glass against an ant, right? I mean, you're throwing it in that same sort of space, and yet the puck goes in past Jakob Dobson, and it makes it 2-1. So Buffalo's still down a goal, but they played much better in this second frame. We'll see what the third will bring to us. We've still got another 4 minutes left to go before that's all said and done. As Jakob Dobson put this in behind the inboards. Again, we got the adverts in between Buffalo or Montreal playing against Carolina. That'll be on Thursday on TNT at 8 Eastern. It'll be another 8 Eastern start in between Vegas and Colorado on Wednesday. That's when I'll be back with you. So Wednesday and Thursday for sure at 8 p.m. and then we'll see for the rest of the week. Wednesday, I know next week I have plans there, so I won't be able to do any stream for house repairs and things like that. But still be able to get at least 2 more of these for Wednesday, Thursday, some homework on Friday, and maybe 1 weekend stream. But at least Wednesday, Thursday for sure.
Where the face-off should be. I don't know how confident that much of an argument here. He knocked it into the net. So the draw will be outside the blue line. 3:40 to go. Second period.
So Dano against Hellenius. And Hellenius is pretty good in the WJCs. They'll get moved out of the circle here. And this will be won by Philip Dano. No problem here for Lane Hutson. Started again quickly in his own end, I believe, from Caden Gooley. As this one will pop up into the air. Near the left side, Dot won 16 Game 7s, tied most all-time with Bruins. And you think original 6 franchises would hold those records. That would make the most sense. This will be a one-on-one. Buffalo's got a chance here if they can get it across, and just too far there for Hellenius. Picked up now for a long outstretched pass. And this will be Josh Anderson. Again, he collided into the left side post into his gut earlier in this frame, but he's popped back out there to shake that off. Can't imagine how bruised those ribs would be. This is sent back in behind the handboards now for Carrier. Carrier now to Jake Evans. Evans. He will touch passes ahead to avoid a hit. Demidov into the corner now alongside Alex Newhook, but the pass is too far for him. Newhook tried to tie up his man. It's Matthias Samuelsson. Goal scorer off the drop. Good save, Dobson. To the right side pads. Spin and turn now. Buffalo, Lindy Ruff squad still with it. Shut hums and hits the glass. Peyton Krebs out there as well. And pushed ahead there for Gooley. And off the inboards there, Montreal gets it, steals, shot, just missed the top right crossbar. Buffalo looks to attack and transition. Here is Mallenstein. Off the drop, you got Greenway with him. Picked up now near the right side boards. We'll see if Montreal can steal. They will. It's a 3-on-2 developing for Montreal. Here's a drive across the left side wing. High side chance goes off the glass. Kept in by Montreal. Tip play had Nick Suzuki in front of the goal crease. And Caufield rims it in behind the end boards near the right side. Suzuki can't chase it. Buffalo will steal. Put up the gut now for McLeod. McLeod now dropped for Tuch near the left side blue line. Back around for McLeod. 90 seconds left to go in the middle frame. Dahlin takes a hit and can't be held in by Josh Doan. At least I thought so. He did off the last side of the blade. Shot goes up high. Hits the glass. Back and behind the net of Dobson. Doan gets the retrieval. Here's Owen Power, the Michigan man. Off the drop for Dahlin. Shoots deflected. Power was there, but he got his stick lifted. Couldn't score it. Power now. Trying to keep it alive. The lefty. Still dancing. Left side red line. Spin and turn. He's being bothered by the Montreal defense out in front. Couple of chances. Whacks away at it for McLeod. Bounced up in the air and out. Dobson comes up large. 50 seconds left to go in this middle frame. This is out in front for McLeod. And Dobson meets it toward the right of the post as Slafkovsky and Bolduc want to get some pieces of Buffalo. But they are pressing. In this second, they've got within one. They're trying to tie it. There's 48.8 left. Rebound at the post. It's loose. Buffalo with it. It's just bodies everywhere. Little drowning pool at the net of 31.7. But Dalbesh able to hold on. You have the entire line of both teams in front of the blue paint. That is no exaggeration. 2018 on the shot board. Buffalo really taking advantage of that there. So this is how it starts. Josh Norris, Tage Thompson in tight. Good save, Dalbesh. Might have hit him near the bottom of the mask. It did. It didn't dislodge it. He makes the initial save as it hits him right in the throat. Dobson slides over, and then a stick play. Carrier has probably stopped a couple of goals already in this frame alone, because you remember that cross earlier there from McLeod. He stops the pass. Norris has been awesome in the circle, 10 of 12. He's even done better than Philip Danault, 7 of 13. We'll have to do it again. 31.7 left to go in the second. It has been one goal in favor of Buffalo and Matthias Samuelsson. Here's the tie-up. Marty St. Louis squad's got it. Leaves some pressure here. Jake Evans put it into the corner near the left side red line. He finishes off his check. And quickly, Buffalo, see if they can push the other way. Got time for one more rush. 14 seconds. Find an entry. Thompson dangles. Thompson shoots. Picked up now. And on the backhand, it's loose behind Dobson. She makes one save. Down to 4. Power move at the net. Canceled off beautifully by Danault. And that ends the second. Buffalo really buzzed in that second frame. They scored one. They need one more. But Dobson, I thought, played very well in tandem. It's 2-1 after 40. Buffalo gets one courtesy of Matthias Samuelsson, but they need one more at least to tie. What will the third bring us? We'll find out. Come back. We'll call more. So they gave us to Greenway. Are they going to give us to Samuelsson or Greenway? Wonder what the NHL app says. They gave it to Jordan Greenway off his jersey. They just switched the score here. So it should be Greenway from Samuelson and Mallenstein.
Answers. The big rate 3+ sensor, along with big rate 6, inactive big rate tools, so you can make good little infinite choices. This is progress. Try for free at freestylelibre.us. She could show the road to the next, but the moment she stepped in, I like it. Now at all hours and space. In my life, I'm not married.
I'm just going to jump in really quickly before we go live to the third period. Jordan Greenway, it bounced off his jersey last. I looked on NHL.com and ESPN as far as their box. They've now both credited Greenway with his second. Matthias Samuelsson going to get the primary back. Mallenstein will get the secondary assist at 13:19 of the second frame. So that is your official marker for what the stats will be. We'll just do this as well, and then I'll close it. 22-18 on the shot board for Buffalo, 21-14 on the hits for Montreal, 21-20 for Buffalo on faceoffs. No power plays in that period, so still withstanding 1-for-1. Montreal on the man advantage. Buffalo doesn't have one just yet. So when we come back, we'll call the third. So shots on goal have changed a lot. So shots on goal were 13-7 Buffalo in that period, 22-18 across for them. Hits 20-14 Montreal, but Buffalo won that period 6-9. Face-offs 21-20 for Buffalo. Face-offs were 12-12. So Buffalo came back. They scored a goal. They really pressed in that second frame. We'll see if it's going to be enough. And Cleveland's killing Detroit 7-1. Let me look. I just want to see the MLB scoreboard as far as the standings this year. The Tigers are going to be one of the worst teams in the league with all the injuries. They didn't add anything either, so I don't think you expect anything to change. Tigers are 20-27. They'll be 20-28. And the Royals aren't in action today, so yeah, they'll be in last in the Central.
Yeah, well, Buffalo does a lot of what they used to say, get it on the forecheck, ground and pound. Montreal's got an opportunity to make a play on that puck and the outfield again.
So 20-28 would be the worst record, only behind, or only ahead of, I should say, the Boston Red Sox, and then the Angels, who are 16-31. Angels have the worst record in all of baseball. Even the Rockies have 18 wins. And then everybody was talking about the Phillies, who are dead in the water. They're 25-23 now. They've been super hot of late to get them back into the race. If we click the wild card, I just want to see where that will be. The Phillies are 3 games out on the wild card, but I mean, it's so much time left in the year, and they've been just percolating of late. They've won 7 of the last 8 games. In San Antonio, we got a 44-41 lead on OKC in the second.
When you love your dog like crazy, you make sure their food is delicious, just like yours. Caesar, love like crazy. LLB Road Toast, or stitched by experts of Maine. Take on your side, every trip outside.
Short on nothing. Big on you again. Only on Royal Caribbean. Taco Bell's lunchbox is going to be changes. Because once they indulge in the mainstays of the $5 box, the decadence of the $7 box, and the abundance of the $9 box, it's a monumental triple double crunch. They started expecting everything in this box. No one loves Caribbean. Where's the doorman? There is no doorman. That's why we're waiting. We're on Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 lunchbox.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda. Road trips won't wait. Neither should you. So bring on the thrills with a Honda Hike. Hit the road with high-tech features available through built-in and the efficiency of Honda Hike. All from the 2025 California Best of Both Worlds. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2026 CRV all-wheel drive sport Honda.
OMG, they must have worked so dumb that we'll just fly instead of Zephyr and fly. Lol. Organic, rest and pests.
Roll run. You're very good. Well, I drink Red Bull. But you do realize, yes, Red Bull gives you wings, but I'm scared of heights. Red Bull gives you
The new Red Bull Summer Edition with the taste of Suzuki Lime. Wings for your summer.
The plants on Saturday.
Believe it or not, we're just getting started. It's not new. It's not been expected. The top contenders, they're dropping the hammer. And everybody's totally unhinged. It's poetry on ice with bruises and incredible tension. It's really more of a metaphor. Everything comes in, dramas unfolding, and the heroes are rising. And because when you see this cozy touch,
Welcome back to the Discover Second Division Report. He springs it in, Mitch Marner, who's in?
no distractions, no doubt. Just fight, make sure they stop. Considering that one Wednesday night should be a spectacular Western Conference final. Here in the East, Alex Tuch has 8 shots, 5 on goal, 3 missed shots. Watch for him in the third period. How do you see this shaking out?
Well, I think for Montreal, they got to become the hunter in this third period here. I think if they win the game, they're going to have to shoot Buffalo in the third period. And for Buffalo, I would keep doing the same thing, ground and pound, get the puck in behind Montreal's defense, and don't change defense in the second period.
When the lights come on, the stars got to come on. Your best players got to be your best players in crunch moment. Your season's on the line. Montreal's best players have to lead the right way, and that's playing the right way. They got to get their game going.
Only one minor penalty of the game. That was the bench to the late game. Officials did a great job, and that led to a Montreal power play goal. We got a third comes up. We got a penalty in the third. Are you Strack, loaded, the whole thing? You are the Demidov, the lady in game 3 of the World Cup. That's Rebecca Leslie from Ottawa. And Ottawa trails the best of 5 now, 2 games to 1. They've got a series with Rapido. Wow, hard drive. We got a third period to remember coming up. What's for Ruff in there, right? Montreal leads Buffalo 2-1. Carolina needs an opponent. This is going to start the second division. Wow. Those are boys. They're looking real.
Why settle for a basic fix when we can have the gold standard? That is why Blue Chew Gold was created. Science shows allows obedience in the brain and not just the body. And that's what Blue Chew Gold is engineered for. It's the only hormone built for brain and body. The result is chemistry that actually brings couples closer.
if you felt resistant to eating meds, you're not alone. Get the sublingual tablet that tackles both.
If you're struggling to find that mental spark, try Blue Chew Gold.
She's got 12 items.
Okay, eyes on your own basket. Young homeowners turning into their parents love rules. Let's go.
Everybody knows you're not supposed to put dog waste in the trash
Let's
can.
go. It's a thing.
There's dedicated RV parking around the back.
No, we're not leaving it out.
It's okay. You don't need a ticket. There's no one waiting.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can't save you money when you put loan on our house.
Technically, these onions count as 1 item.
You're literally the only one who cares.
Forget the war money. DirecTV got hot. They're on fire with more MLB games than anyone. Welcome to the big league, kid.
How old is
Ugh, this grease is fruity, hard to scrub. And with the new Easy 4 jug, there's less mess.
You don't buy them.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. Did you make bowling the sport of pharaohs? And yet, Foley said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. You don't do that. You like the stage for us. You bring the encouragement. And all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
Relax. Domino's large one-topping pizzas are counting
$7.99 when you carry out. But don't act now. This deal's here from this time next year, at least. So take the seat and we're down to. Buying cars, kind of a big deal. With car dealers, you can search in your own words. Sporty, fun to drive. Fits all the gear. In the whole family. But like, cool. Finally, a car search that fits you. Car Gurus, the #1 most visited car shopping site. It rolled to the NBA Finals in team. The Cavs hired another Hutson. But the Knicks carried dreams of all the Eastern Conference.
We got one more minute here before the start of the third period.
Wednesday on ESPN. All rights to this broadcast are reserved. And any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without express written consent of the National Hockey League is expressly prohibited.
You place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me who is going to get the next goal. Is Montreal going to go up by 2, or is Buffalo going to tie this game 7? Right now we said 2-1. Montreal had a really good first. Buffalo responded with a really good second, and that is why we are within 1 goal. 3 have been scored within 40 minutes of play. And the 2 openers for Montreal look like they were on the precipice. They get 1 more. Buffalo probably doesn't come back and win this game. But yet, Dobish, even with all the pressure that Buffalo had, I thought was splendid in that second frame to keep this scoreline where it is. He really is the only reason why this team is still within 1. Otherwise, I easily could have thought that Buffalo maybe tie or take the lead, if not for what they did in that second frame. But you let me know who you think is going to score next. So we're going to get set here for the start of the third period. I gave you the reset. Jordan Greenway off Matthias Samuelson's shot, since it bounced off his jersey. He got credit for the goal. So the last one to touch is Thompson. Try to get this around Jake Evans. Buffalo wins the draw. They get in the offensive end. Alex Newhook will get this one out. We'll press back at least into the neutral zone here, try to help out Matheson and everybody and their mother offsides for Buffalo at 19:38 of the third. See if we're going to need some overtime or not, as they're showing this now off of Samuelson's chance, and then maybe just Greenway in this game, making some good passes out in front of Norris, creating it. 14 shots, 1 goal, and everything on the shot chart. You normally see that in basketball, but everything on the shot chart, 8 of those 14 were right in front of the blue paint. Now, that's how it tells you how good Dobish was as well. That's Slafkovsky. Back in mind, the inboards when leading after 2, 29-4-2, and the Oilers is just 3-2 in the playoffs for Montreal, but they're only up by 1. Shot is Blake breaking the stick, just blowing it up for Buffalo here. McLeod off an outstretch. Beautiful read there for Montreal in the defense for Nick Suzuki. Cancel it off. +7 goal differential in the third. Second in the playoffs, only behind Colorado is +12. So Buffalo's done a lot of good things here. But if they don't at least tie this up and get 1 more, they'll be going home. And it'll be Montreal playing the Canes on Thursday. Got a long way to go before we can say that, though. As this is Caden Gooley. Push this one up the ice now. Try to give a chase there from Donnell. And Gooley, 1 more. We picked up now for Texier. This is a good pass here for Montreal. And toward the left side of the inboards, but Buffalo there to cancel off. Valentine might have got hooked in the face. And are we playing on or not? Nope. It's going to be a hook in the face against Buffalo. They're going to get their first power play. There's only been 2. This will be the second of the game. And Buffalo gets an opportunity. I think Philip Danault is the dejected party. Yes, he is. High stick's going to send into the box. Buffalo finally gets a man advantage with 18-26. So Philip Danault opened the scoring off the deflection, and now a high stick hits Samuelson. And Buffalo gets a chance on the power play again. Games 4 of 6, they were 6 of 10, over 60% on the man advantage. And they got to try to get it here. Slam back in behind the kick plate. We'll go back to Ukko-Pekka Luke in a new PL. 4 for 6 in Game 6, tied most power play goals in playoff team history. 54 times shorthanded for Montreal, most in this postseason. Buffalo is second, so these two teams take a lot of penalties. Jack Quinn off the drop now for Zach Benson near the right side dot. High slot Dahlin. Here's Thompson near the left dot. Looking in for Quinn. Good save. Dalbish cancels up the 5-hole. Dahlin now rolling here for Quinn. Quinn now. Here for Thompson. And this is out of the zone. Montreal can take their time, throw back, and clear. They're going to let everybody change for their forwards, their defense as well. So Marty St. Louis got fresh troops on the ice. The Buffalo's first power play down to about a minute 5. Rasmus Dahlin from the left side, red line and in. He will chase it in that same spot in the O-zone. Dahlin, Quinn, they'll come together now. Takedown in behind the play, no call, is Montreal subsequently gets it down. UPL. Leave now here for Alex Tuch. He's on a 6-game pointless drought. Tuch across the right wing beats 2 Montreal players. Coming in behind the inboards. Byram try to get a retrieval. He gets stick lifted. Norris up the windmill. This is picked up now for Montreal. Alex Newhook have to shovel it into an open corner for Josh Norris, who's in his own end now. Take the loop in behind the net. Josh Norris is going to accelerate now across the left side red line and drop it. Ryan McLeod with this set the entry. Drop for Tuch across the right wing. Tuch try to send it around to McLeod, but nothing doing. Buffalo's power play going to go up for naught here. It's 0 for 1. Montreal 1 for 1. Bowen Byram. Carry the mail. Left side red line now for Bowen. Try to center out in front. This is caught off the wall by Dobish. He had a piece of it. It's played in behind the net now. Mallenstein will get chase. Toward the right side red line. Spin and turn. Try to use the glass for his leverage. Backhand power move. This is picked up now by Lane Hutson. Danault out of the box. He's trying to provide some support. Byram can't hold the line. Back into the neutral zone, up the gut. Buffalo finds the entry up a 1-on-4. Here's a drop. Delbish cancel it off to the left side of the paint. Picked up now for Jordan Greenway. Greenway, who's got the latest goal, made it 2-1. Evans try to get it out, chipped in off the glass. It is toward Delbish. Picks it fortuitous bounce, but Montreal can get it down the ice. See if this goes wide for an ice. Yes, it will at 15:32. It'll be a Buffalo ozone draw. Montreal cannot change.
Typically in a game like this, you see a team shorten their bench, just line it out with the big guys. But Seth Africone, he doesn't think they're going to do that because of that big guy.
Greenway, Krebs, and Mallenstein on the fourth line have a goal and assist tonight for the Sabres.
And the Sabres feel if they're going to win this game, it's going to come on a dirty goal like that.
And Montreal plays 11 forwards and 5
Scoring chances are 23-12 in favor of the Sabres. They need one more to tie. Jordan Greenway has got the only goal of the second. It answered 2 goals in the first for Montreal. Drop pass from the left side dot. Montreal could walk in. Here's a delay for Dahlin. Good play at the net by Hutson to cancel off with a stick lift. Players diving all over themselves. Danault. Got to be quick about it. We'll get it out off the long flip. Settle back down for Matthias Samuelson, who got a primary assist in that only goal in the second. Matheson, cross ice for Lane Hutson. Hutson took a couple back strides, and then Evans loses the puck. Hutson got to provide some support, and Montreal has some work to do. There's Demidov, and alongside for Jake Evans, Constantinius will send this around the inboards. 14:40 left to go in the third. Hutson lost the puck. Good backline support from Mike Matheson. Helps out Lane. Gets it toward the right side down. Accelerates across the middle. Newhook off the lead. And this is going just wide. On the left side red line. Demidov can't chase. But Montreal gets the steal. Suzuki on his backhand. Here's Matheson up high. That one misses. Demidov gets it back. Hutson now for Mike. Shoots it at the net again. Ukko-Pekka makes the save. Montreal gets some pressure here. Suzuki off the spin around for Demidov, and he threw it right to Buffalo. This is numbers here for the Sabres. They got to go quick. Valenius. Here's a chance for Byram, but he caught the glass. Back down to the left side dot. Chance now. One-timer. This one blocked. Byram off the lead. It's Dobson loose. He made a great save. Oh, and he gets bowled over. Back by the left side. He's holding his head. We'll see if Dobson is okay. And we'll see if any call comes of this. 13:47 left to go. Dobson is incensed. He got bowled over hard. And we'll see if there'll be any calls. So Matheson's shot, I thought it might be initially just missed before we get the stoppage at 13:47. Actually at the top left of the bar and out. And then with all that chances there for Bowen Byram, Jason Zucker gets in close. He runs over Dobson, and we get no call. So 13:47, we have a break. That's still where we are. Montreal leads 2-1. And Ukko-Pekka 16 of 18. And let me just close this out for the recorder purposes. Dobson, brilliant. 25 of 26. We'll see what we get. We're about 7 minutes expired into the third period.
The new Red Bull Summer Edition with the taste of Suzuki Lime. Wings for your summer.
For the second time tonight, Ukko-Pekka is inches away from a goal against for the second time. He's in control of the side for Thompson. This time the Thompson. He's grabbed the goal and it's off the pad.
Getting that replay, it's a save off his left skate, and then Zucker bowls over Dobson. Not sure how that's not a penalty there. Zucker got a little bit lucky. One shot in the last 16:41 of action for Montreal, because that post shot for Matheson does not count as one. Tuch gets the steal, and this one hits the glass and then goes up and out of play. Shot board is 26-18. This is the best I've seen Buffalo look, because again, I've only covered game 2, but Zucker comes flying in like a bat out of hell, runs over Dobson, who I don't think was trying to sell it all that much. He just got hit pretty hard. Lucky there was no call. So just one power play apiece for both these squads. Montreal goes 1 for 1, Buffalo 0 for 1. That one power play they had was pretty much non-existent. So McLeod against Dano. And on the draw here. And toward the right side off the backboards, picked up now. Dahlin scores! Buffalo has tied it! And it's the captaincy, Rasmus Dahlin. We're square at 2. So off the face-off, wind power recollects. It's from the left side. Dot short side chance from Rasmus Dahlin. The captaincy beats Jakub Dobson, and we're tied at 2. Montreal, again, as we said, has only had one shot in about 15-50 of action. They need to press. They had a great first period. It was all Buffalo in the second. It's kind of all Buffalo here in the third, with the exception of the post shot for Matheson. Slafkovsky wrister, and this one does not hit Ukko-Pekka, but it goes out of play at 12:54. So that's a second post. I thought that one was up and out of play. The first one for Matheson, I got that clear. The second one I didn't see. But Ray Ferraro says 2 posts. We knew the one for Matheson. I guess Slafkovsky also hit the bar. So Ukko-Pekka getting some luck here as this goes behind the net. No tripping call needed. Lane Hutson gets it out. But Montreal got to get going the other way. Here's Texier. Texier off the drop. Left side, it's Lane Hutson. Certainly no stranger to drawing offense. Shot up, hits Pekka high. Picked up here, Gooley off the drop for Dano. Plays it off the kick plate. Left side, Dot. Pekka makes the save. Montreal gets a couple of shots here. They finally needed that at least to look forward to. Constantinius off the leaf pass. He's open across the gut. Makes a great move off the cutback. And it's saved by Jakub Dobson. Chance in the middle of the slot. Canceled off beautifully by Montreal. Philip Dano will chase this into the corner. Ukko-Pekka be forced to hold. That is what Montreal needs right now. Finally pressing the other way. You get that feeling, and I could have probably said this 15 minutes ago, anytime during the play-by-play, that Montreal was just trying to play it safe and hold a 2-goal lead and not try to press if they didn't need to, but now they can't do it. It's tied. You're going to see them press now, but I thought they'd try to play it a little bit too safe. If we're being honest, maybe 10, 12 full minutes in the play-by-play. I think if Cooper, Ian, or Alec were in here, they would all probably agree with that. So Newhook can't win this draw. It's a centering feed, but picked up now for Montreal. Try to get it out of the zone here. Shot board is 5-0 in favor of Buffalo in this frame because those posts don't count. Settle back the other way, although that clear would be if that was updated. Here's a wrister here for Connor Timmins. He'll get saved by Dobson. Now to the right side, Buffalo trying to drive the net. This is working on the play. Broken stick not called. Here's Timmins off the lead toward the right side. Dot still working behind the cage. Spin and turn now for McLeod. They try to sieve it out in front, but Newhook will read it. And now Montreal, they glove down out of the air. Newhook try to give chase. Not necessarily on the edge of his ship, but he didn't want to hyper commit to be out of position. Here's Mike Matheson. Spin and turn. 10:50 left to go here in the third. Will we need overtime? Still got lots of time before that. Haven't had one yet in this series. But now that Buffalo has made the press, how much are they going to attack? But they love to do so. Benson into the corner now to the right side red line. Caufield. Here was Suzuki. Good pass for Matheson. Get this one across. Started one more time for Suzuki. Off the slow uphill spin. Throw it into an open corner. Matheson gloves it down out of the air. Montreal gets possession. In the high slot, it's jammed across the middle. Slafkovsky and Caufield get denied by Ukko-Pekka at 10:16 of the third. Stanley Cup playoffs history, one team with multi-goal comeback wins in Game 6 and 7. It's the 1950 Red Wings. Sabres trailed 3-1 in Game 6 and 2-0 tonight. They'd be only the second team with multi-goal comeback wins. the whistle had already blown at 9:59 before the puck goes in for Buffalo. And I just didn't want to go ahead and make that call. We'll see if we get anything else, but there was some kerfuffles here, but the whistle had already blown. And again, I don't think anyone else could hear it on the ESPN side, but we did down here at least. So it's going to be 2-2, 9:59 left to go in the third. So again, just for the recorder purposes, Matheson, top left barn out, Slaf, the same. Zucker runs over Dobish. And no call. 13:47, we get a break. 13:33, Rasmus Dahlin scores in an own power pass. Inside left dot and short side. And then the last team with the multi-goal comeback wins in Game 6 and 7 was the 1950 Detroit Red Wings. Buffalo would be only the second team to do so.
Let's bring in Dave Jackson quickly on the whistle that negated the goal.
Yes, Sean, Montreal was very fortunate here. There's a rule that exists. When that puck crosses the goal line, on its own, without being touched, even though the whistle is gone, it's a combination of a continuous play. That would have been a good goal. The fact that Buffalo touched the puck, they had to take the whole.
So there was a whistle before the play that negated that goal, and if Buffalo didn't touch it a second time, Dave Jackson saying if it just rolled in for that whistle, it would have called, but since Buffalo touched it, it negated the play. That's his ruling. I just want to relay that to you. 9:47 left to go in the third. When you think about that 99, with Brett Hull and the craze he was, and Buffalo got screwed for that, and Dallas won the Stanley Cup, and the Stars fans are going to tell you otherwise, because if I was a Stars fan, diehard, I'd say the same thing. But Buffalo has dealt with their heartbreak, and right now they have a chance to deliver the ultimate dagger to the Montreal Canadiens. They had a 2-0 lead in Montreal. I'm not going to say they sat and stopped playing the entire time, but they probably went into that shell probably about 10 minutes too soon in that second frame. And now they're going to have to push. These teams don't want to make a mistake now. Buffalo's got the 2 to tie, and now we'll see who gets the go-ahead, because this next one will decide that. Here's a slap shot for Evans. Now Malenstein. Big glove down by Evans before it ever got to the bench. He does not take a hit. I thought he would have got sandwiched. Newhook. Moving around the inboards for Jake. Jake tried to throw it out in front. A stick reach for Demidov. It's Newhook now. He'll find it. Newhook off the spin and turn. Leaves it here for his defense, and Caden goalie try to throw it out front. And Buffalo should have a quick press here if they choose to do so, as Josh Norris will slow it down, take his change. He needs off the ice, so Lindy Ruff squad will take a change. Zachary Bolduc takes a hit. 52% of Game 7s are decided by 1 goal. That's where we are right now after Buffalo has just tied it. They were down 2-0. Sent back around the inboards for Tuch. 8:30 left to go in this third unless we need OT. Hutson off the back post gets beat. High slot now, Buffalo. Inside out move. Power move to the backhand for Bowen Byram. And this will go wide of Dobish. Not a play. Shot board starting to get slanted here. 30-20 in favor of Buffalo. I'll be back with you no matter what Wednesday about 8:10 Eastern between the Avs and the Golden Knights. That will start at Ball Arena. And the Colorado Avalanche have home ice throughout as they won the President's Trophy. It'll be another O-zone draw for Buffalo. The first 20 minutes, you can say, definitely belong to Montreal, but after that, Buffalo seems like they need to be able to just take this series. They got to take Montreal and put them out of their misery. Whatever's left for Carolina, it'll be what it'll be. But if they can continue to play like this and press, there's no doubt in my mind that even the Buffalo Sabres could get to the Stanley Cup Finals. If they can have long stretches of play like this, Dobson with a great save out of Constantinius off a back pass as Dobson stands tall. .7:30 left to go in the third. Matheson will chip it in. Montreal gives chase off the wrap. It's loose. Montreal picks it up now for Hutson. Good steal there. Cross ice speed, little wanting there. Hutson fired at the net with a quick release. Slafkovsky hits him up high. Slap now tries to find it. Suzuki joining in on the fray from Marty St. Louis squad. It'd be a shame if Montreal doesn't finish this off, considering how they started in the first, and Buffalo can say the same from the second and all of the third. We're at KeyBank Center now for the start of Game 7. Game 1 between Carolina, and whoever wins won't be played until Thursday. Big collision. Hutson will pop back up. Takes a hit now by Jack Quinn. This is at the point now. High slot there. Dobson try to cancel it off. This gets deflected wide. Bowen Byram trying to get around the stick of Caufield. And excellent work there for Hutson. Really needs off the ice, but he can't get off just yet. 6:30 left to go in the third. He sees that lets the forwards take a change. This little toe drag buys himself some space. Alec Newhook, blazing speed, backhand. It gets swept aside by Ukko-Pekka. Now toward the right side corner, it's tipped off the blade of Demidov and right to the catching glove of Ukko.
Breakaway saves, and then it's been all Jakob Dobson has had to deal with pretty much everything in front of him. He has made several exceptional saves as the Canadiens have been on their heels here for 35
And between Dobson and Luukkonen, you really can't blame either netminder right now. They're both doing the job here in this Game 7 as we continue to press on. D-zone draw win for Montreal. They need more of that. Dobson, 2 goals allowed on 31, 2 goals allowed on 20 for Ukko. Dano can't hold it in. And this will go back to the Montreal defense. Here's Noah Dobson. Caden Goulet was right. From the left and right, Dobson let the forwards take a change from Marty St. Louis squad. About 5 minutes left to go here and about another 30 seconds in Game 7 of regulation. Unless we need OT. As it's picked up and behind the net, Montreal does steal. Try to send this back around for Texier into the right side corner. Texier, and off the spin. It's Dano. Dano power move toward the net, gets canceled off. This goes around the outside of the boards. Matheson will chip it in deep. Montreal trying to just keep this around the horn and keep some puck possession because Buffalo's had a lot of that in the back half of this game. Here comes the jerseys in blue. McLeod shoves off his man, works to the right side. Here's a drop. Good backhand, a drag, and Dahlin is stonewalled by Dobson at 5:05. So the last save at 5:05 as Dahlin makes a backhand move toward the net.
Need to get back on the road? Want to get out of here? Here for it. Well, she went to Metro and saved over $250. She got the Samsung Galaxy A17 5G for free and no activation fees. Get that home for your money feeling. Only at Metro.
Protecting what you care about is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. That's why we have a plan to protect just about anything, like this car and this Allison money. This golf cart, it's protected. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Taco Bell's lunchbox is going to be protected. Because once they've indulged in the mainstays of the $5 box, the decadence of the $7 box, and the abundance of the $9 box, it's a monumental triple double cruncher. They started expecting everything to be as nuts. No little nuts go your head.
Where's the doorman?
There is no door.
That's why we're waiting.
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 lunchboxes. Fighting fans left, it's 2-2. This is how we got here. Filton all scored to make it 1-0 Zach Bolduc on the power play. 2-0 after 1, and after the Sabres pressure, Jordan Greenway gets credit for one. And later in the third period, the engine of the Sabres, Rasmus Dahlin, makes this game 2-2. And everyone's on their feet for the stretch. Face-off in there.
Face-off tie-up. See who it belongs to. Buffalo will get the steal. Near the right side dot, Zach Benson. Work his way behind the net, trying to get around. Carrier. Benson gets swallowed up. Thompson emerges with it. About 6'6". Tage Thompson still battling across the right side boards. Good touch pass. Slap shot's broken. The stick of Dahlin. Thompson off the wraparound gets denied. Slafkovsky, see if he can get back quickly. And the other way now for Caufield. Throw this one in. Slafkovsky. And off the pin. It's to Ukko-Pekka and bounces up in the air near the left side dot. Here's a chance now for Jack Quinn. Went up the ice. Quinn trying to make a play. Drives toward the net. Gets canceled off. Montreal can go right to left. And off the long flip. This is a stick battle. It's just one power play apiece for both these squads. Montreal goes 1 for 1. Buffalo 0 for 1. Bowen Byram in his own end. Jerseys in blue in terms of the gold stripe and go left to right. Chance toward the right side off the leave. It's Hellenius off the stick lift. Picked up now for Montreal. Numbers 3-on-3. Cross ice feed looking for Evans from the left to right dot. Gets canceled off. He surrenders it to Buffalo. Take a long outstretched pass, chipped in off the glass, and Lindy Ruff squad can take a change. 3:30 thereabouts from OT, should we need it, as this is sent in from the right side red line. Picked up now, Demidov tries to finish his check. Here's Josh Doan from the left side red line. Doan gets canceled off. There's a spin and turn. He's trying to help provide support. Newhook can't find it. Goes back to Doan. He finds the entry. Kitty quarters it in to the right side red line. Demidov chipping off the glass a little bit too far for Newhook. He was the only forechecker there. Here's Tuch on his backhand. He spins around one check. Dahlin gets a new stick, comes off the ice. He's open off the drop pass from Tuch, and the save is up and on a playoff Dobson. Zone time getting a little more slanted. 14:42 for Buffalo. Zone time 10:30 for the Montreal Canadiens. This is a 2-2 tie. Montreal had 2 unanswered goals in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third for Buffalo. And they've had the better of the periods. Here's a backhand drive, and that one's saved by Ukko-Pekka. I'm going to get a number on that for Montreal. is I believe that was Nick Suzuki. This will be sent back around for Malenstein. Fourth line back out there, Zach Benson. He'll spin. Chance for Thompson now. And this will be knocked away. Picked up here for Texier. Loop in the left side corner and get off the ice. 2:25 left to go in the third. Next goal wins territory. That's certainly what we're looking at now, as it's 2-2 in Game 7 between Montreal and Buffalo. Really couldn't have expected anything less, but after the first, you probably had different designs like you thought I did. Slafkovsky might be double shifted at this point. He blows a tire. Now Buffalo try to race the other way. Here's Greenway with a back pass. This bounces in the middle of the slot. Montreal can't control it. Settle back down for Malenstein. One timer. This one blocked before it ever hit Dobish. And now the other way. Timmins gets a piece of his man. 1:45 left to go here in the third. Montreal got to take their changes quickly. Slafkovsky get off the ice. Evans stays on. Now to the left side, red line. Ellenis knocked off the puck. 1:30 left to go. 90 seconds left to go in regulation, unless we need OT. Sent back around the end boards here. And Buffalo elect for the long flip down the ice. Bounces off the zebra. That'll be good for Buffalo here. No icing. Alex Carrier take this one up the ice. Carrier now across the right side wing on his forehand, rattle it around the kick play. Jake Evans will give chase near the left side red line. Hutson gets back on his horse as McLeod gets tied up a little bit, able to carry it into the offensive zone where Montreal will steal and pivot back. Lane Hutson off the outstretched pass. Montreal dumps it in, and we get an icing here against the Canadiens at 51 seconds left of the third. That's Josh Anderson's second break. So that break from a couple minutes ago, that was Josh Anderson. He won in the second and the third. There's Buffalo now. Tage Thompson off the glass. Try to give this chase. Lane Hutson and off the tie-up from Matheson in Montreal. We'll find it. Here's Texier. This is intercepted by Zach Benson. 25 seconds left to go in the third. We're in a tie game at 2 of Game 7. Winner going to get the Canes on Thursday. They will go to Raleigh at that point. They have home ice advantage to begin the Eastern Conference Finals. Texier on the tie-up. This will go to Ukko-Pekka, and we are going to go to overtime. We're all square after 60. KeyBank Center erupts. Probably booed their squad in the first, didn't do so much in the second and third. Home teams 27 and 23 as we enter the 51st overtime game in Game 7 Stanley Cup playoffs history. Come back. Job's not done yet. We'll call more.
It doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you, because that's why we're going to be both teams back. So, again, both teams equally depth, hungry. I think Buffalo is another team overall, but Montreal found a way to hang in. Buffalo works out nice because we should be somewhere overtime.
Yeah, it comes down to one play. It's going to be that play that decides the season for either of these teams. And are you okay? You're okay. I'm okay, but I get on. It's great. You know what? It's almost going to be like a new game going into overtime. So both teams got to take the first few periods and park of whatever's happened and focus on what's going to give you a win in overtime. For Montreal,
Let's get to the stats after regulation. We're going to need OT for this one in this Game 7. 34-22 on the shot board. Shot board was 12-4 Buffalo in that period. So, I mean, they're just really starting to take control from the second and the third. Hits 24-19, not an overly physical game by any means. Buffalo won the hit battle in that period 5-4. Face-offs 30-29 Montreal. And 10-8 Montreal in that frame. Buffalo gets a power play, doesn't score. Both teams 1-for-1 Montreal, 0-for-1 Buffalo. Block shots 19-9 for the Canadiens.
Evans has got to understand that you cannot leave Rasmus Dahlin open. He's got to respect that there's a battle going on with power. Let that happen and take the guy. But a great play executed by Buffalo. They put him in a tough position. And Josh Anderson had the unbelievable chance late in the game to try to win the regulation once and all.
I just got to give a lot of credit to you talk about a lot of uncertainty coming into this game. Who was going to play? I think the Buffalo Sabres got used, but he is an amazing save. Yes, it was about Buffalo's play. He had a key save off the ball. Unbelievable save. And he is good ball play. I just love to see athletes fight through adversity and set out all the noise. This is always the basis. Really understand.
Who are you guys picking in the comments section? Who are you guys picking in the comments section for the game winner? If you want to leave that in there, let me know what you think. Give me your game winner on both sides. One for Montreal, one for Buffalo. Who's the hot hand? I'm going to go Juraj Slafkovsky for Montreal as an OT hero because he's always so big in the Olympics and he gets the job done. And this is unlikely here for the Sabres, but the kid's played well, and I like his propensity to get in front of the net. How about Constantinius for Buffalo? So give me Slafkovsky for Montreal, give me Helenius for Buffalo. And again, for the reporter side, I'll make that known when we get to it. We got about 10 minutes before the start of overtime.
Dahlin's a guy that seems like he's going to be there every night, but you need other guys to step up and get a chance.
Right? And you could be sitting idle for a long time and quiet for a long time and score this goal here. That could completely change your whole outlook, the picture of your playoffs, your confidence. It can change everything. And
Slump buster. That's what he needs.
this is it right here. This is it for some. One play. Forget about the whole series. Nobody's going to remember the whole series other than that one goal. So someone's going to be a hero going.
You know what it's like? That's goes what it's like.
I know what it's like. I don't score an overtime goal. I never did.
A slump buster, though. You busted out of the slump.
So, Colin, you told my guy, is that you over to do? Okay. I told there was a special guest firing up the crowd in Buffalo as only he can. Let's see it, Burger.
Come on, Buffalo! We need you! Go! Circle the wagon and the gold streak like the Buffalo Sabres!
That warms my heart. Boom and Buffalo have this unbelievable association and have forever. Of course, Chris Berman in the building getting ready. I mean, what a legend. Yeah, what a legend. Mount Rushmore yesterday. We've had success. It all starts with Chris. Shout out to Chris. How's your bracket looking? Look, it hasn't changed no more. Montreal better figure it out and keep me alive here. Let's go. Carolina's been stuck there forever. They're now 11 days off between games. 11 days off. Hey, I had 11 days off. We had 11 days off. I think that's tied to the all-time record. It was 10 or 11. But what happened? How many Hall of Famers on that team? How many Hall of Famers on that team? Excuse me. That first game was a little bit rough, but in the first period, but after that, you swept them in four? No, we didn't get it. They got 10 Hall of Famers on that team. 10 players in that Hall of Fame. 11 days off when game one starts for Carolina. They've been 4 games since April of 26. They're 8-0 this postseason. They haven't lost a game. Freddie Anderson has been brilliant in goal. I'm standing by my theory that with more days off at this time of year, the better. I don't care how many days off they have. If they're good enough to win, they'll find a way to win. Okay. Regardless of how many days they have off. Right. It's a long time to be waiting. But another team who comes out of this series, they've been playing a 7-gamer. Don't they roll in at least game 1 with more than the team that's been off for 2 weeks? It's very hard to switch gears that quickly in playoff series, especially coming off an emotional series. Don't forget, if Montreal wins this series, that's back-to-back game 7s. Right. Going into another series, a young team, you don't have time in a 7-game series to kind of work your way into the series. That transition has to be done immediately. It takes a lot of experience to do that. I think that Carolina's in a good position with both these teams playing in this game and having to transition quickly going into it. So Carolina's sitting in the driver's seat in the East right now. It's going to be theirs to lose. They're a strong enough team, in my opinion, to get through on both Montreal and Buffalo, whoever comes through. And ultimately, in the end, if they're a good enough team, they will find a way no matter how many days off they have. I think that's what he's talking about, so I'm going to agree with him on that. An upset. First time all season, agree with that. Well, he's been there before. Well, many times. Meanwhile, the Buffalo watch party outside the arena, they're going wild. Well, don't get too invested. Listen, we'll take a gander as to who scores the game-winning goal tonight. And if the goal caught more than a single overtime. When we come back on the Subway Overtime Intermission Report. Can I make another fun in
Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar. No artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and 75% less sugar. Gatorade Lower Sugar. Hydrates better than water.
I love a good beer. Specifically yours. In fact, me and my closest 200,000 drinking buddies can smell it from a mile off. Except now, there's this morbid crow telling us it's last call at the Taylor house. Well, I'm smart enough to know when the party's over. Are you? Okay. Go on, Larry. Morgan, the best of the pests.
Fit everyone in with iPhone 17 Pro. Stay connected with AT&T.
Got this, guys. Come on.
Get iPhone 17 Pro on us with iPhone trade-in in condition.
Discovering Epic Menu. Inspired by the Mandalorian and Grogu. Only at Burger King. Have it delay in theaters April 2nd. Bring on the fun. Bring home a new Honda. Road trips won't wait. Neither should you. So bring on the thrills with a Honda Hybrid. Hit the road with high-tech features available Google built-in. And the efficiency of the Honda Hybrid. All for the 2025 Kelly Blue Book Best Performance Brand. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2026 CRV all-wheel drive sport hybrid.
Welcome back to the Subway Overtime Intermission Report.
Now let's stroll down memory lane. Game 7, first round this postseason, Alex Newhook was a hero for Montreal. We're winding our way to who's going to be the hero tonight. Again, Montreal forced to a game 7 again. This one will go to overtime. Of course, Canadiens played 9 shots in that game, by the way. 2011, Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Mike Richards.
Yeah,
Briere.
wow. Okay, going way back. Really good game 7. 2011, also, the Terminator in a game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7 overtime.
Yeah, and I love this one. Give a salute to the crowd. Let them know you mean business.
And of all the players. Come on. And that gets us to who is the hero tonight. You guys going to pick one from each team?
Yes.
Probably one of them. Of course. Well, maybe you want to go first. Okay. I'm going to give you one player. If you pick one that I pick, I guess you take Alex Tuch. Okay. I'm going to take Alex Tuch to be the hero tonight. You got a lot of guys. Yeah. You got a lot of only one player. I'm going to Doan and Hutson.
I'm going with the Dynamo, Ivan Demidov. Montreal.
Cool.
And I'm going with the D. I'm going back to Mr. Byram. Experience. Yep, because I think he's going to get the right matchup. If there's going to be a play, I think he can be that man.
I would think you would say Dahlin. And I guess the other question is, do we see you guys again? Do we see you guys again for a second edition? No?
I don't know. Why do you got to do that?
I'm just saying, I don't think so. We're going to one overtime. No, I don't think we're going to get to a second.
No, these guys want to get some rest.
They're usually pretty fast. All right, here we go. Sudden death overtime. Game number 7. And here we go. Back to Buffalo. The George. They're stuck in this game. Right, go
On to overtime in Game 7 for Buffalo.
So I made my picks. I asked you guys to do the same. Who do you pick to win in OT? I've got Slafkovsky for the Canadiens. I got Constantinius for the Buffalo Sabres. We sit 2-2. Again, if we go through the scoring by period, we can break that down before this OT starts. Philip Danault, and you have Zach Bolduc on the power play from the left side dot. It was a ripper of a 1T. He comes off the bench, immediately shoots. So Jordan Greenway has the puck bounce off his jersey from Matthias Samuelsson from Wall phone booth, and then Rasmus Dahlin from Owen Power. He gets that pass across. It's a little bit of a skate toward the right side dot. Shimmy and a shot beats Jakub Dobesh, who has been brilliant in this game. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is 20 of 22 in goal for Buffalo. Jakub Dobesh, 32 of 34. It'll be a shame one of these goaltenders has to go home after this. The only win in Game 7, 97 versus the Senators for the Buffalo Sabres. So history not on their side. 1-6 before that. And both PK Subban and Mark Messier say that this is not going to go past a single overtime. These guys want to get this done very quickly because, again, they got a date on Thursday in the Eastern Conference Finals, one of these two teams against the Montreal Canadiens. That's going to be at PNC or Lenovo Center now, but either in Raleigh is where we'll start on Thursday. I'll have that call for you at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I'll be back on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, between Colorado and Vegas. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see what happens after in the week. As Rasmus Dahlin pushed this one up the gut. This is stolen. One-timer, good save by Dobesh. That was off of Zach Benson. Benson now toward the left side of the red line. Red collected now for Montreal, trying to go left to right. We're not going to need all this OT. Again, it's sudden death. But we're just getting started. The first 40 seconds have elapsed. As McLeod can't find it. Montreal keeps it in. Another one-timer. This one goes wide to the right post. Picked up now for Buffalo. And in transition, McLeod, it's overskated. Lane Hutson gets a steal. Pull ball pass. At least gets out. And the first minute is going away. Lane Hutson Send this back in behind the end boards now. And start it again. Here's Caden Gooley. Now to the left side dump. This will be trying to get canceled off by Buffalo. They'll do so as Tuch intercepts in his own end. Gets around a stick of Jake Evans. Buffalo's got to turn and pivot around. Leave it around for Bowen Byram. Colorado Avalanche man, Stanley Cup champion. This will be curl and drag. Buffalo gets a steal. It's too far off the stick of Josh Norris and locked it in the corner. Bowen Byram got it in that same right side red line. Opportunity now. Almost lost an edge was Buffalo here. Now Linus. He will send this here as Jack Quinn gets destroyed against the left side boards. Caden Gooley will spin and turn in his own end. Montreal in the road whites with the red tops and blue pants. They'll be going left to right in this OT. Buffalo goes right to left in the blue and gold. This is sent by Gooley. Buffalo gets a steal. They'll bring around the end boards themselves. Back to Caden. And Montreal, Marty St. Louis squad got possession. 17:50 left to go in this OT. And there'll be a whistle for an offsides.
To make the stop, but Benson seems to be around the puck a lot tonight, as he has been with him for most of the series. He's had a
Neutral zone draw won by the Sabres and Lindy Ruff squad is Owen Power. Left side red line. 5 goals in playoffs, 13 regular season was a career high. So Benson certainly found his best of this game in the second season. Buffalo trying to extend it to Thursday. Same for Montreal. Game 7 at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Drawn on your play-by-play man as we're in OT in a 2-2 game. Matheson on his backhand. Try to work. He tried to center it out in front. This is picked off now by Samuelson. And we'll see if Buffalo can chip it down the ice. They will off the one-on-one. And now Einstein not going to get there first. There's Texier. Toward the left side red line is Dobson is sent in the corner now. Takes a strange bounce right in front of Thompson. They'll clean it up in front of UPL. And now Buffalo has it. Tage Thompson lost him between his skate blades. One more time. Here's Lane Hutson. 4 minutes are going to get set to expire in this OT in about another 30 seconds. As it's looped in behind the net of Ukko-Pekka. Rasmus Dahlin trying to find him now. Slafkovsky will work his way in the middle of the slot. He's my overtime hero pick for Montreal. I got Constant Helenius for Buffalo. Slafkovsky. And up the top near the left side boards. Good work for Buffalo to cancel it off. 3-on-3 now. To the right side, Josh Norris falls down to a knee. There's only been 2 power plays in this game. Montreal was 1 for 1. In the first, Buffalo was 0 for 1. They had theirs in the third. 34-22. The high stick in the mouth of Samuelson that was off of Benson. That was inadvertent friendly fire. Otherwise, Buffalo would have had a double minor to work with. There's just a sent back around the end boards. Dahlin takes a hit. Montreal gets the steal. Demidov trying to work in front of Tuch. Here's Carrier wrister. This one wide of Ukko-Pekka. Now back toward the blue paint. Sent around now for Gooley. And the high slot Carrier got to get around that broken stick. Buffalo has essentially playing a man down. Shot block is nicely worked. That's going to allow Tuch, I think, to get back and get his blade. Montreal, Jake Evans just takes a bounce. Newhook off the outside of the cage. He missed it up the turnaround. Buffalo will chip and chase. And Evans is going to get there first.
What a great play by Alex Tuch. We talked lots about him having no points in the series. He cross-checks Demidov. Now he's got no stick. You can see it's broken up near the top where his top hand would be. And as the Canadians move the puck around, Tuch's got his eyes right on Matheson. And he's able to get his skate out to block this shot.
15-15 left to go in the OT should we need it all. This is looped into the corner now. 27-24 time on ice for Nick Suzuki is a career high. Doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot. Marty St. Louis has really kind of balanced these lines, but defensively not as much over Jack Guy. He's only played a couple of minutes. As Consta Hellenis has it now. They'll send it back to the point. Rister. Dobish makes a save, and this one hits the netting. Connor Timmins was trying to get out in front as well to provide a screen. They get a stoppage at 14:51. It's a deflected puck from Timmins that went up and out of play. Now reinforcements will get settled here for Buffalo in this ozone drop. Overtime shot attempts are 6-1 Montreal, so not really doing so well in the second or third after trying to nurse a 2-0 lead. It's 2-2 as we sit in OT, but now they're getting that push there. This would be back-to-back Game 7 victories for Montreal should they get it against Buffalo here. Rasmus Dahlin. This will be away from Benson. He got hit up high. Josh Norris. They'll leave for Thompson. This shot gets deflected. Thompson lost his blade. Montreal will see if they can skate with numbers. 3-on-2. Here's a wrister. This one goes wide off the inboards. Thompson does get back as Josh Anderson. It's Texier. Anderson now wrister. This one wide of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Captain at the point now. Here is Montreal just keeping it on side, traffic in front, and Montreal has it. Down to the left side red line, high slot, picked up here. Here's a outstretch. Here's a long chance. Here is Thompson trying to slide. Dobish says no. This goes to the right side corner for Norris. Here's a wrister. And this goes up and out of play. Dobish lost his goal stick. He had to wait out Tage Thompson, who tried to skate between his legs and finish it through his legs past Dobish, but no, sir. So Thompson, I get the replay here. He waits and drags out the back check of Montreal. That was Noah Dobson. So Dobson comes late. The toe drag around him. And then he tries to finish it between his legs, but Dobish, a beautiful job to stay poised and wait near the right post. 15 points in the playoffs, tied second in the NHL. Mitch Marner has only got more at 18. Evans 7-11 on the draw. McLeod 10-15. It's been a good time for an ozone draw for Buffalo. See what McLeod can do. They'll win it straight back. It gets partially contested. Buffalo's got it. McLeod's got work to do now. Sitting in behind the net for Tuch and lobbed down the ice. This is not going to be far enough for icing. As length of the ice goes Buffalo to start with the vulcanized rubber. Now from right to left. Here is Tuch. He wanted to drop it off, but he got caught up by Hutson, and now Montreal. Field clear. Tuch will be the one to chase it, but Montreal going to get there first. 13-10 thereabouts left in the OT should we need it all. Here's a good sauce pass from McLeod. We'll play it off the carom. His slap shot gets blocked. Picked up now for Rasmus Dahlin. His wrister knocked away. And Suzuki will try to chase Rasmus, but Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen gets there first. Throws it in an open corner. Bowen Byron hopes out Dahlin. And Buffalo push this one up the ice. Buffalo now try to rush up the gut here. And this will bounce off the blade of Mallenstein. Right to Lindy Ruff's defense. Start again now off another long flip. Be picked up in the right side for Caden Gooley. And settle back down. Another rolling puck, not far enough for icing. 12:25 left to go. We're going to get an ice scrapage here pretty soon in the next couple of minutes, the next stoppage. Samuelson sends it across. And this is Constantinius losing the puck. Back around the end boards for Matheson. Slafkovsky takes a hit. Loses the puck. Now Dobish got to come out of his crease to play it. Here is Carrier. He'll throw it down and roll it down the ice. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with a ginger slide across. We'll give Buffalo possession. Jordan Greenway. It's too far for him. Jake Evans will spin. Try to leave it toward the net. His wrister gets blocked from the left side down. And Lane Hutson will have to pivot back as this will go down the ice. Buffalo has iced it at 11:42.
For Montreal, that was in 1978. They won the Stanley Cup, and Robinson was the MVP on Slate Winner.
Right, San Luis does not have a lot of options on his bench. He's not going to move people around. He's got Suzuki double shifting. One of the problems is the game.
Ray Ferraro says he's got Nick Suzuki double shifting, not a lot of options on those bench. So as this overtime looms larger and you're in back-to-back game sevens, another icing here for Buffalo, it's going to start to get some tired legs. I think a little bit quicker here for Montreal. Yes, they are a young team, but you're playing games every other day, and then you get a couple off days when essentially, Carolina hasn't played in about 2 weeks. So you think whoever comes into this game, whoever comes out of it between Montreal and Buffalo, should have an advantage on Thursday to be able to walk into it, as Carolina would need to find their sea legs. But we'll see what happens. There's Lane Hutson. Turnaround shot gets deflected. Picked up now for Anderson. Texier. He gets hit against the end boards. Timmins will pry that puck loose. Here is Texier. Mallenstein trying to be in an open right corner for his teammates. Now we'll work to the left on it. There was plenty of traffic from behind the net. Picked up here for Anderson. Off the wrap, sends it around in front. Ukko-Pekka couldn't hold, but Buffalo will clean it up down the ice. It was back-to-back icing against them. This one waved off. Lane Hutson, 10:50 left to go in this OT should we need it for this first overtime. 35-24 on the shot board. Here's Lane. Left side red line makes one man miss. Suzuki will chase. Bowen Byram. Sharp angle chance. Hits target. Knocks down Ukko-Pekka. And now Josh Norris. Push this one up ice. Off the drop. Wrister for Tage. This one goes wide. Caufield. Left side red line. Chips it in. 10:20 left to go in the OT should we need it all. Here's an opportunity for Zach Benson. Inside out move for him. Knocks him down to a knee. And picked up here for Goulet. On the back end as the Canadiens have numbers here toward the left side down. Spin around for Demidov. Demidov trying to keep the play alive, working in behind the net. Here is Alex Newhook. Newhook, Evans on his backhand. It's loose in front, Wrister. And this one will be saved by Ukko-Pekka in the middle of the circles. 9:45 left to go in the OT. Stolen by Buffalo. They'll lift it down the ice off a 1-on-2. Here's Josh Doan off the outside of the cage. Dobish says no. This goes back to Doan near the right circle. Like Matheson trying to make life difficult. Will spin, buy himself some space, and Josh kills some more time. Jake Evans forces steal. It goes back to Owen Power, the Michigan man. Off the gut. Here's Buffalo. And off the drop. This one is wide. Settle back down now for the defensive Buffalo and Lindy Ruff squad. And a touch pass for Rasmus goes wide, and then Montreal ices it at 9:08. We will do the ice scrapage here, and we'll stay here live. I'm just going to pause the recorder and get my notes.
This is a break for Montreal to get breathing. Best players out there for both coaches. Great regularity.
Time on ice leaders. Rasmus Dahlin, the captaincy, 32-41. Samuelson, 28-35. Power, 28-22. Bowen Byram, 27-48. And your leading forward, 23-37 of ice time, is Zachary Benson. There's Jordan Greenway going to get some camera shots. That icing goes against Montreal. However, there's an ice scrimmage at 9:08, so they will get a breather out of this, and they Commence everybody to wave those towels at KeyBank Center, Buffalo, New York. John and I are with you. This is Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semis between Montreal and Buffalo. Winner gets Carolina in the conference finals on Thursday. I will be back with you on Wednesday about an 8:10 start between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. Canadiens 3-3 in Game 7 OT records. Their last win in '92 against the Hartford Whalers. Sabres 1-2 in this scenario. Their only win, '97 versus the Sens. OT shot board reads 3-2 Buffalo. Philip Danault 14-25 in the circle. Norris 15-23, both very good. Norris wins it. Here is Dahlin with a bomb, and this goes right in the trapper of Dobson.
So he had a clean look and was able to scoop it up. His 37th shot that he's faced tonight. So they make a change. Demidov comes off the Evans, a right-hander in the strong side corner.
So Evans going to take this draw now instead of Philip Danault against Josh Norris. Norris wins another one. This is toward the left side red line now as Buffalo's got puck possession here. Age 50 of OT unless we need it all. Thompson with a chance, and Dobson makes another save near the left dot.
And in his size, with the length of his stick, he can shoot the puck from far away from his feet. He drags it tighter and shoots it over Matheson's stick, and there's that traffic I was talking about. He pulls somebody up in front of the net, draws a defender. Norris and Evans are going to get right into the shooting line, and Dobson has to fight it off.
See if they can get a third straight ozone draw. Norris said to take them all. This time they can't win it, but off the redirect, it goes to Rasmus Dahlin. And then Dahlin pressured at the line. Montreal steals. Try to work in the neutral zone now. Working up the gut. There's Evans! Scores! Montreal wins! They go to play Carolina on Thursday! Alex Newhook again! He has been so dominant in the series, and Montreal wins back-to-back Game 7s, and they'll play Carolina about 8:10 Eastern on Thursday. What a series this was, and my winner to think who was going to win this series was Montreal. I didn't get who was going to win the game directly, but I did pick Montreal in this series. It took 7. Ukko-Pekka throws his helmet as we see that in the board, but we're at 8:38 of OT, and it's all over. Alex Newhook, that's your game winner. I will see you Wednesday for the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights. That'll be at Ball Arena. Hopefully, I'll be joined by some friends. Peace, guys. We'll talk then. Alex Newhook, his 6th goal in this series. Absolutely insane. I'll make sure I mark that in my notes. Alex Newhook, that's a far side from the left dot, just outside. That beats Luukkonen clean. He's trying to make a glove save. It beats him right underneath the armpit. See you Wednesday, guys. Peace.